Okay, her hair. Alright, so her ears are pretty normal. And then her hair. Alright, so from here. Okay, so from like right here. And then. Oh, what's up, Titan? How's it going, man? What are you laughing about? Hmm. Don't ignore me? Ignore you for what? Like, what do you mean? Don't ignore you. How was I ignoring you? And I will do like her hairline is on the line about, so we'll have like it come down. Cause I'm thinking about the head or the brow, and then the transition. Hmm. Scroll up. There's no scrolling up. There's no scrolling up. Well, I can look over here probably. Um. Uh, not gonna lie to you so one time, right? Not gonna lie to you so one time, right? I got high as a kite and figured out how use forgiveness works. Interesting. Very interesting. Even though we don't uh promote getting high as a kite, but very interesting. You said a long time ago? So you don't understand it no more? So I guess it should be on her right eye. So on her right eye. Okay, so on this eye right here. Alright, so we'll do around and then another round. Wait, no. Around and then another round. Alright, so we'll do here, and then we'll have this part for the nose come up, going down like so, and then we'll do like this part right here. Okay, so if this comes right this part can do this like that, and then we'll do the lips here, like rounding over this part, and then we'll do like the bottom lip here. Wait, let me see her lips. How big are her lips? They're really tiny. Okay, and then we'll do from like here. Wait, no. So we'll leave this part, and then we'll come down. this. I might change it, the style. I might want to make it a little bit higher up. Maybe a little bit. Bri, what's going on, man? I might make it a little bit higher up, to be honest with you. I'm thinking, because I want to keep the vibe, but I might give her, like, something that goes up a little bit more. Interesting silhouette. I gotta make her head bigger too. I'd be forgetting that. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what I want her hair to look like. Because I know I want it like a type of fro type thing, but I'm wondering. Excuse me. I'm wondering, like, how do I want it to look? I mean, I guess I could still do it the way that I was planning on doing it. But how are you guys' day today? Anything fun, interesting? You know the funny thing is, right? I was I mean, I was going to try to stream today, obviously, because I did say that. But I got to a point where I was like, I was probably not going to be able to stream today. And then Naya uh, DM'd me on Instagram and said, "So when are you streaming?" And then I was like, "Yeah, I'm streaming today." And then I was like, "I have to make sure I stream today, because ain't no way I'm going to tell one of you guys that I'm going to for sure stream today, and then not. Craziness, craziness." I think this is the bottom lip. They'll go down like this. No, 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 no. Because I'm thinking about the whole tube shape here. So I guess I'll just do like a little. I was like, oh, nice. Hello. I see you changed your name. Now it's gonna take. Actually, since you changed your name to Naya, I guess it shouldn't. Uh, I shouldn't mess up. Alright, so I'm thinking, should I have her eyes open now? Because I also have to remember, she has that big, like scar on her eye. I drew Nova's eyes. Nice. So we like to hear. Let's do. So you know exactly what it's going to look like now? And then her eyes are pretty rounded. So she has like a big scar. Okay, so the scar goes. So these are her eyebrows, right? Her eyebrows are like so. And the scar goes in here, out here, and then it'll come down, and then it'll just cover the entirety of her eye, and then it'll go out this way, and then curve on this side, and then go down on this side of the nose. So her nose comes down like this, and all this part is in shadow. I mean, is no messed up. And I'm drawing her. Wow, it's funny how you ask a question and then we answer the question and then you say you're gonna do it anyway. What the heck was the point of asking? Give her some bigger eyelashes. Right there. I don't know if I want her looking. I mean, because I don't know yet. I have no clue yet. I don't even know why I wanted to start with her. It was just this pose just felt like her, you know? I might have to exaggerate it a little bit more too. Maybe the. Just make it a little bit more open. Just make her a little bit thinner. People really like, what is her name? Idra? People really like her. I mean, this isn't her, but her um, teammate, I guess. I think I'll have her look down this way. I'm joking? Oh, okay. Long nose, please, man. How do I draw her? Well, how do you draw hair? Well, it depends on the hairstyle. So I highly recommend you look up references. But my um my thing is think about the overall shape of the hair, right? So if you want somebody's hair to be very long and flowy, think about the shape that you want the hair to be going with. You know, like let's say obviously it's coming from the top of the head. Just how much hair do you think she's going to have? How do you think the hair is going to look like the overall silhouette? Once you have that, then you can start thinking about okay, maybe it's curled a bit, right? She has wavy hair, and obviously this is just a simpler way of doing it, right? Or her hair could just be poofy, you know, like a fro type thing, right? You can make it nappy if you want, or you could do. I mean, I guess that's with a long way. Maybe you can like give her dreads or have them braided by adding like some. This would be really long dreads, wouldn't it? Speaking of dreads, so how's what's her name going? Titan. Ow. But my thought about it is think about the character, think about their hairstyle, and then think about the shape that you want because that is very important when it comes down to creating characters. Hair. Let me erase. Okay, let's do. Trying to think of how I want. Okay, I guess her hair does come down over her. Erase, erase. Gonna have to do some liquefying here because her face is supposed to be a lot smaller. And let me fix the silhouette real fast because I have to think about her hair doesn't go beyond her shoulders, so right here is already a mistake. She's turning, so I guess I can make it go a little bit further, but on this side definitely not. And it does come down to like this level. And Naya, the drawing, I really liked it. I think it turned out really good. Read back. Long nose. Please, man. So how do I draw hair? Nova has a wolf cut with bangs covering her eyes. same thing. Look up a wolf cut, right? And if you can, I mean, you do have a tablet now, so go on the tab, like download the picture from Pinterest or something that you like, and then go on, like, post it on your drawing program and turn it black and white. And then once you do that, try to find the big shape and then block it out. And then once you see it, like, depending on what it ends up looking like, obviously, once you see this big shape, like with my characters mostly, um, that's what I do. I just think about the big overall shape. Like, for example, this is Alchemini's old hairstyle that that Bri likes so much. When I'm thinking about Alchemini, if I'm drawing her from the front, I know that her hair is something kind of like this, like the silhouette of it is something kind of like this. I've drawn it so many times that I just remember, right? So I'll do this, and then this is where her hairline would be, about right there. And then this, she has like a mullet type thing, so I'll cut it like from like right here, and then the back part of her hair will start curling, and I know that it curls out like this. So I just think about that overall shape, and then I end up working from there. And then obviously, depending on how I want. I don't know why I didn't just draw her face. Let's do that, and then let's do that. Have her hair like this, and then come out, go out, and then up here. No, like right here. Bri just really likes this hairstyle. I mean, I like it too. Don't get me wrong. They're just like a motif that I'm going with, you know? I still haven't solidified what I want her hair to look like, but I know I want it to have the 3 in place somewhere. Alright, so, and then right here, we'll have her face, and then like right here, we can draw the rest. I don't know why I drew it this way. This is so random. It's such a random way of doing it. And then, yeah, something like that. But I just know, think about the overall shape. I can't, bro. Girls with wolf cuts, bro. My heart. Okay. But yeah, honestly, that's the best way to do it. Go on Pinterest, look up some references of the hairstyle that you like, and then download it, put it on your drawing program, and then put the thing in black and white. I don't know how you do it on yours, but in mine, simply just go to hue and saturation, and just turn off saturation completely, and then draw on it and try to find the overall shape of the hair, right? And once you have that overall shape, draw that overall shape by yourself, and then yeah, make it work. All right, now let's go back to Nissa. Where is you at? Right here. Okay. Since she's leaning back quite a bit, I kind of want her hair to go back like this. If she was standing forward, it'd be different. Okay, let's get the shape like that. And then I want to remember she has 3 braids. She has 1 braid that comes down here, like so. Boom, 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 boom. Go up. And then she has another braid that goes right here. Boom, 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 boom. And then she has 1 more braid right here. Thank you. Looks like Naya. Did you change your profile picture too? Because I feel like your profile picture is different as well. Let me see it. Let me see it. She did? What is it though? Is it like a character or something? Is it a drawing you did? Or is it just a new vibe or something that you're going with? By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure you like it and subscribe if you haven't already. I got a fat crush on somebody. Zura, who is it this week? Alright, let's erase this part. Okay, I want this to like. Okay, and she has like a cat collar thing. I must remember. It's a Swedish girl. Oh, your OC? Your OC's Swedish, isn't she? Um, yeah, she's Swedish, right? Let's bring this in a bit. Um, who? But my profile picture is two bears. Oh, okay. Two bears. Okay, I gotta make her head bigger. Okay. Let's fix the eyes. And she doesn't have. She ain't like she. Like the apples ain't crazy on her, so we'll go like from like right here. We'll give her her pecs. Just where the pecs should be anyway. And then we'll go from here. We'll do just never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Just forget it. I feel like every time I say never mind audibly like that before I even start talking, it's because I was about to start saying it, saying what I was about to say. But yeah, just forget it. Just forget it. Apples? Yeah. Some people like saying Charlie's, but it's so weird. Like who's Charlie? You know what I'm saying? um, what do you mean? Yeah, we'll be talking. I got no chance. What do you mean you in the door? Huh? She says she never wanna date again because of some circumstances. I see. Like a grown man? Okay. Alright. Alright, I think I'm gonna do like right up here. And she has like that bell. And we're gonna do like right here. It's about like that big, I'd say. Right? Yeah, it's about like that big. And then we'll do the traps Make sure they come down like so. And then let's wrap the collarbone. So Naya, what are you working on now? Like, what's your next big project? Let's do that. Let's do that. And then, you said check what? What? I don't think I did it right. Let's see. Yeah, I think I need to make her, because I know her head is big, like in comparison, but it is small. Like it's squished a bit. Let's see what you got. If this thing even loads. Whip here. Okay, okay. So no, you didn't do it right because I told you to lower the opacity, and you did not lower the opacity. And I don't think this is like you should probably try to find a different angle because this is just. I mean, I guess you can still like work it out. So go to how do you do it on your program? Uh, you should be able to adjust colors, right? So like try to adjust the color of that drawing. I mean, of that picture. I'm gonna try to make a boy OC. Not gonna lie, I'm scared. So wish we like no problem. You got this. You got this, Naya. Drawing a guy character, I think. I mean, honestly, I'm never gonna say it, because for me it was like once I picked up drawing guys again, it was pretty difficult at first. So I understand. All right, so she has the thing there. I'm about to fix this though. I might make it. No, I think it's fine in size. So we'll do a nice little circle, and then we'll wrap this part around because we gotta remember it's a ball. It's not a circle. It's a sphere. It's not a sphere. I mean, it is a sphere. And then right here on this part right here, we'll do like this big opening area for where the bell is, and then on this area right here, we'll curve following the form of the ball, the sphere shaped thing, like this, and then we'll kind of like flatten it a little bit more. Um, check whip. Does this one work? Okay, I guess yeah, this picture could work. So lower the opacity. I mean, I guess it could work because you gotta think about the angle that you're trying to draw her in. So if you're trying to draw her like facing, then I guess it works. So just lower the opacity, right? I mean, not opacity. Lower the saturation, right? And once you have that, it should be easier for you to see the distinction because she got different color hair too. I was expecting something black, but it should still work. All right, so we'll do that, and she has like I really like her outfit actually. It's really cool. It's really cools. But the thing is, I never really thought about what she wears. Oh, I have an idea. I'm gonna give her like the Jinx. right? Because her pants, she has one leg, like pant, like it's like one, and the other one is like short. So I was thinking, what if towards the bottom we make it like flare out like this, giving it a bit personality, like that on this leg, maybe a little bit higher to be honest. So since I did say leg jinx, just a little bit higher. And then on this leg, like I said, it's higher up like this, and then she has like the wrap on her leg here. So come down. Maybe. I like the top that she has on though. It's really nice. Really nice. So right here on the waist, she has like a belt. Boom, 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 boom. And then it'll come down like so. And then it'll go down here. Let me go actually look at Jinx real fast, because I do have a picture of her here. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so Jinx's pants. I mean, it's sort of kind of what I was working with actually. Let me try to find this one. Yeah, this one's the actual concept art. Okay, so I mean, Jinx's is really, it's tighter to her pants. I mean, to her body. So I guess if I do it like Jinx's, it won't go out. But I kind of like the idea of making it go out a little bit more for the silhouette. So something like that. Maybe. You don't know how to do it? I guess it could still work the way that you do it. Just lower the opacity, and then try to like trace it, but don't just trace it the way you did there, because I feel like that won't really help you. Try to trace it like just with edges. Like if I'm looking at this drawing or this picture that you sent me. Okay, can you like work faster? Thank you. Okay, so if I'm looking at this picture you sent me, what I'm seeing is I'm just going to think about everything in a plane. This makes it easier for me to draw in different angles, right? So I'm like, okay, the top of her head, I'm just gonna put a line right here for the top of their hair. Then I'm gonna go down like this on both sides, and then I'm gonna cut back in because I see that there's a distance between. I mean, this part of the hair cuts short, while the rest goes like gets longer. Because obviously it's like. So I'm gonna cut this part back like this. So right now I have this shape for the top part of her hair, right? So the bottom part of her hair, which is like primarily in the back, it will come down like in between this like this. So you can think of like a house like this, right? But you have to remember, since it's behind her, if I were to draw her neck here, then it'd have to wrap behind it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna do something like this, like a shape kind of like this. So now I have the idea of there's an inner section. Maybe if I were to just put like hatching on the inside like this, right? So once you start breaking it down to shapes like this, it'll make it a lot easier for you to understand, what to do with it. So like this is where her hair line goes, and then front of the face as the hair comes down like this, and then her face comes in like this, and then her neck goes in like this. Right, so it makes it a lot easier for you to break the hair down like this. So once you know that, you're like, okay, so all this stuff right here I don't need to worry about. I have to get the shape from these sides because they're going to end up going over the traps. So try to break the hair down into simple shapes like that. Don't just outline or trace it. Don't just trace it. Try to break it down into shapes like this. Like split it up. It makes it a lot easier when you're drawing. like anything really, not just hair, but anything. Which is why I try to get you guys to think about shapes. You know, when you're drawing, think about shapes. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to give Nessa her. I mean, yeah, we can do it because she does have like the twin daggers. Like so, one goes out this way and one goes out this way behind her. So I think I'm gonna keep it like this. This part of her leg, like I said, the pants goes up or cut short right here, and then she has like a bandage wrap on her leg right here. And Naya, do you have an idea of this male character, or are you just gonna wing it and see what happens? Something kind of like that is fine, I guess. And then I'm gonna have her leg come out like this. I'm gonna have her knee pop out, and then I guess I can keep her barefoot, but I don't know. I might give her some boots. I don't know. I might give her some type of boots. Okay, so the knee will be right there. So it's covering the knee. We'll go around with the calf, come down, and we'll bring this part in. On this side right here, we'll add like the ankle bone. On this side, we'll add a little roundness right there. Come down, pop that ankle bone out, and then we'll come down. And I remember that it will curve this way. I'm just thinking about this base part of the foot, like the biggest shape, and then the toes will just pop out like this, and then we'll go here, thinking about this box right there, separating those toes from the big toe, and then the big toe will come out this way, like this, like that, and then the other one, we'll think about that leg coming like out, and I'm thinking about the round and the knee right here, and we'll come down, and then I guess maybe a little bit in more, and then we'll come in, get that bone right there, and then get the back part of the foot, and then come in like this, get the big overall shape, and then we'll have her toes curl this way, and then we'll just group them all together. Actually, no, let me put the big toe right here, and then we'll group these ones. Something like that. That's not bad. But I want to draw the top, because like I said, I really like it. I think I did something with this one, honestly. I'm about to do it right now, and people are like, it's not even that, really. It's not even that cool or anything. Alright, so I'm trying to think. How will I do this? So I know it wraps around the top here, right? So now I'm thinking, how will it connect? Because I never drew. Okay, wait. I mean, is it like together or attached? Yeah, let's say it's attached. Like this. Alright, and then it'll come down. Wait, she has like right here. She has like arm wraps. Right there. And then right there. Let's try to grab it, draw a tube right there. Alright, and then this part will come out. Wait, from right here, then it'll go out and cut in. And then it'll go up. Yeah? Is this the way that I did it? It's not looking how I remember it looking. So that's why I'm kind of thrown off. Like, is this the way that I did it? It might not be, honestly. Boom, boom. Because I have to remember also this part comes up because of that thing. So if I were to draw it that way. Huh. Or was it detached? Because I feel like it was detached. But the thing is, then, like, what's the point, you know? I mean, I guess I could do it that way. I don't have to have it, like, together. but I feel like I had it together. That's what's throwing me off. But the thing is, like, if it is together, like, how would it even? I feel like no, 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 no. Honestly, thinking about this logically, I have to separate it. Who's just broke gesture? Dang. Actually, that might be. Nah, I'm not gonna say it. Um, yeah, I'm gonna change it because thinking about it now, if I were to do it the way that I was planning on doing it just now, she wouldn't be able to move um freely. Like it'd get caught a lot. So I actually think I'm gonna change her fit right now. So if it was the other way before, it's not like that anymore. Is this another? No. First of all, why'd you write it? Like I feel like I know you wrote it all in lowercase, but it felt like there was an exclamation point right there. No, it isn't. No, it is not. Okay. So right here, and we'll do up here. We'll have like these. Jojo another. No, she isn't. She just has a cat bell. This is a cat bell, by the way. This isn't a call. I mean, it is a collar, but it isn't. You know, it's just like just imagine those those people that dress up. All right, so um, okay, that's good. So I'm gonna do. Hold up, I'm gonna have to fix these. And then there's a center line, and then there's another one that comes down this way, and there's another one that comes down this way, and she has like on this side, she has like this pouch thing right here, and then I guess on this side I won't be able to see the other one, and then she has like a blade thing. Let me flip this real fast. No, Zoe reacting to videos as well. No, like I just wanted to get this drawing to a good place before I started. Because uh once I have it like started up, that's why I kind of like have some bases because I'm going to end up I want to have something done before I started, reacting to stuff. That's why. Okay, so this I don't like this shape right here. It's too. Yeah, let's round it out a little bit more. Okay, that's better. Her head needs to be bigger. This is why I love digital art, man. It's so easy to adjust these things. But the thing is, Titan, how did you know she was black though? Cause I didn't put no skin colors in nothing. Boom, boom, boom. And she has a patch on her leg here. All right, so I think okay. So then we're gonna do right here. She has like a thing like this, and then right here we'll put like her wrist wrap things. So like right there, we'll do like, is that high? Yeah, that's good. But right there, and then like right here, we'll do like these wrist strap things. Well, you see, so I take the thing called character design. Ah, I see. All right. So we have that, and then she's gonna sort of come down a little bit, and then go like this, come down a little bit, and then go like this, and then sort of go out. Wait, no, 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 not that far out. Maybe just down like this, maybe. Hmm. Like that, I think. Huh? So when I see a chick with curly hair, ah, I see. I mean, yeah. All right, she has a. I mean, this thing goes up like this. Not the hey, like you just say some. I mean, if you had to guess though, Naya, like if you had to guess, like if you just looked at her hair, if you had to guess without, let's do boom, 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 boom. I have a question. How many episodes is in Sakamoto Days? Because I feel like I saw all of them, but now that I think about it, like I know this is random. I just randomly start thinking about it, but like I feel like I'm missing one. Because in my mind, it ended so weird. Blame me. Whoa. All right, let's erase this right here. Okay, and then I'd like to do something. And then, like I said, she has like a little pouch here. I don't know what she has in this pouch. Maybe some, I don't know, some candy or something. I don't know. And then she has the symbols. Check Gen chat. It depends. Huh? Gen chat. Dang. Mm. 11 episodes. Okay, so I wasn't. Okay, okay. Does it end with like uh somebody eating burgers? Because that's the last thing I remember. That's the last thing I remember. Is that the last thing you remember? Oh, she has a scar on this one. Last thing you remember is your ex? Dang, man. That's probably why um, Zura's the way Zura is, you know? Last thing I remember is gambling. I mean, I remember gambling too, but I feel like there was burger eating after. So I don't know, I could be wrong. But I just remember burger eating. Did I did I ask you um did I ask you Brad, did you see the Fable? Did I ask you if you saw that? The it's a anime called The Fable. Oh, that's terrible. That is a terrible hand. No, this is the first. Okay, so did you see it? Did you see that anime? Anyways, it's funny how just I don't like that. I don't know how I want to draw the hand because I was thinking of drawing in a certain way. No, you haven't seen it. It's like really something, man. The reason why I brought it up is because it is similar to Sakamoto. The anime came out first, I'm pretty sure. It is insane. It is insane. Yeah, it did come out first. This is it right here. Open. This right here. This is it right here. This thing right here is crazy. Oh my goodness. Um, this is such a crazy show. Oh my goodness. 18 plus definitely. And it's just like it's just things just be happening, and I'm just like, I'm okay. Like, listen, this is gonna be the last time, Zura. Zura, you gotta post it before you tell me to go look for it. Zura always be like, "Hey yo, go check this out," and then I go and nothing here. My gosh, man. See, now I'm not there, and then you're gonna be like, "Oh, I told you to go." No, 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 I was there, but it wasn't there. Um, the vigilante. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I wanted to. I wanted to wait though. I wanted to wait. Does it have to? I mean, you did say it has nothing to do with My Hero. I mean, it has nothing to do with the main story. That's what you said, and I quote. Titan said, "It has nothing to do with the main story." Check again. A prequel. Oh yeah, you did say something like that too, huh? You think you're doing it right? Hold up. Where the heck is the sketch? No, you didn't. You're not doing it right because you didn't show me where the sketch is. But I see you drew her eyes. Okay, I see. I see. Maybe make them a little bit further apart. Because you got to remember when you're drawing your eyes, one eye, like if you do something like this, like three little heels like this. Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. But like three, let's try it like this and like this. I think that's pretty good. I think yeah. Okay, so if you do three things like this, right? When you draw this, what you end up realizing is that your eyes should be one eye apart, right? So if I'm drawing her eyes, I'm going to think or imagine that there's another eye in between that gap to, make the eyes look proportionally distanced, So when you're drawing your eyes, try to see if you can fit one of them, another set of eyes in there. And if you can't, then your eyes are too small. Obviously, there's styles and things where they play a part, but typically they do it this way. Even in anime, when their eyes are really big, if you really look, they still work. The eyes are one eye apart. You gotta do is erase it. That's a sketch. Yeah, but I told you um to draw the basic shapes of the hair. So I thought that's what you were going to show me. Mirko was in high school during the story. Wow, wow. I see. So you get a little bit of High School Miracle stuff. Oh yeah, I was talking about. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about it, but Titan, the miracle drawing, uh, the miracle drawing you showed me. Everybody was going crazy. Everybody was going crazy talking about he a racist now. I was like, oh snap. When I saw the drawing, I was like, oh snap, this look good. I didn't know all this was gonna happen, but I guess like Bryce said, Twitters go to Twitter. And yeah, I saw a video of AJ. He was talking about um he was reading the tweets and everything that people were having to say about it, and I was like, dang, bro. Speaking of America, dude, you see the horror? That was exactly it. I was talking about it yesterday. I was talking about it yesterday. I let Miracle call me. Okay. All right. Like Zoro's just extremely down bad. I think. Like extremely. Like there's I know I think there's a level beyond extremely, and that's where Zoro's at. Let's bring this down and then let's round it up. I think that's fine for a hand. We don't need to worry about the hands too much. Naya doesn't even know what to say. But it's crazy though. Well, yesterday was when I was finishing. Yeah. But it's crazy though, man. Truly crazy how mm, when I did it like that, it kind of looks like it's a one piece suit. I wasn't expecting it to be a one piece suit, but I guess we'll keep it that way. Sure, she looks nice. I'm gonna draw her blade though in the back. But yeah, it's crazy how people were like literally going insane over that. They were calling them racist. They were calling them. They were saying, "Oh, why is he whitewashing Miracle?" And I'm just like, "Whoa, calm down, people. Please relax." Just got my stand. Okay, I think uh nah, nah. it's a bit longer. Let's erase. Does she have anything else on her face? She has a scar. She does have an earring right here. Right there. Wait, doesn't she have an earring too? Yes, she does. Nothing else, huh? Okay, I guess she has nothing else on her face. Oh no, she has the black strip of hair that goes back like so. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so that's a nice little sketch of Nissa on your own. I know that's the crazy thing that threw me off because I'm like this. If he was like this, you know what? I made a mistake. I don't want her to be like this anymore. I'm gonna change her. All right, that's what he wanted to do. That's his character. He can do whatever he wants. But when people are like, "Oh no, you can't do that," that's the thing that is so crazy to me when people say that. And obviously, the show is has become popular. So like everybody just believes that they have the right to talk about it and say whatever they want. But it's crazy how the creator of said thing can't just decide to change something. I'm not saying that's what he did, but it's wild though. Because even if he did, like, what can we really say about it? Truly wild. I don't understand. However, just off Twitter because probably that makes a lot of sense to be afraid of your fans, especially his American fans, because pretty crazy out here, And that's wild though, because obviously, when you create something, you'd love people to love it, like how the My Hero community loves it. But I feel like it gets to a point when it's a little too much. Like when they start believing that they know more about it than even the creator. That's crazy. Because last I checked, he never said that she was a black chick. She just has dark skin. So, does that mean now she is a black chick just because he depicted her that way? I don't know. Or is he just drawing her of a different point in her life? Probably. That could be that too. Because people are tan. People could get tan. That could just be like when the tan starts to fade. So now she's just not as tanned anymore. Simple. He could be like, "Oh, by the way, guys, the reason why she's been like that is because she just likes to get an extra tan, but at this point in her life, she just doesn't want one anymore." Okay, good to know. Thanks. But nah, she this girl, like, they made up a whole story for her too. Like, she's like, no, she's actually African American. She is from Chicago. Okay, she was born and raised. She went to school over here. And you're like, hold up, wait a second. I don't think I said that in the story. That was Spike reference, but I changed the code to fit into the context. The thing is, though, I'll say it. Slight spoiler, but in she is called Tan at one point. I mean, that makes so much sense though when you think about it. You know, because we also remember that UA takes place in Japan, right? UA takes place in Japan, which means they are in Japan because we met the US hero. So we know that she's not from there. And then when you go to Japan, or if you've ever been to Japan or know Japanese people, you know that there are like a group of people who like to tan, right? Like what's gonna call it? That one show that you guys were watching. What is it called? What is that show you guys were watching called? Don, right? Don't they have people who are tanned in there? So, interesting. Interesting. Like, I mean, kind of shows that, you know, but I don't know. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Hold up, her eye. Yeah, she does. Right under heel. Right under heel. Why you say it like that? I know. Because I was thinking about the name, and then I was like, and then I remembered. Never mind. But I don't know. People just are very interesting. Very interesting. I don't get people sometimes. All right, I think this is fine. Has no one else here seen Spy Kids? I've seen Spy Kids. I've seen Spy Kids 1, 2, and 3D. I don't think I watched the other one, the fourth one. I was like, I don't think I saw it. I think this is pretty fine. I really want to draw Martha though. I really would like to draw her. Huh. You had a crush on the girl? Why? As soon as you said the girl, I instantly thought of Lava Girl. What the heck? But Carmen Cortez, right? Carmen Cortez. That's her name, right? Is it? It's Cortez. I think Cortez is their name, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Cortez. I might even go. I might even go ask. I'm pretty sure it's Cortez. I wanted to rob the girl. What? And I was, and I wanted to steal the microwave that can make. Oh, I remember that microwave. Okay. I had a crush on Lava Girl too. Man, man. She reminded you of your sister, Lava Girl, or Carmen? Which one? I want to draw like a picture of Martha, right? But I'm trying to do like I thought of drawing her in a way, but I'm trying to think of like how I want to draw her real fast. Hold on, let me see if I can find a like a reference real fast. Um, hmm. Carmen? Oh, okay. Hmm. Or should I draw? I might draw. I might draw Idra, because I've drawn Martha a couple times already, so it just makes sense. Maybe it'll make sense. Perhaps. Oh, Naya. Nope, not Naya. Brandy. How are you doing? Oh wait, were you here the whole time? Cause you just brought up. Yeah, we were talking about the tans. And then Gyaru, yeah, exactly. Gyaru, they be tanning. Obviously, you can say technically she's probably a little bit darker than the typical tan of a Gyaru, but still, they still be tanning. So she could just be tan. That's it. She could just be tan. But no, in the My Hero, I mean the My Hero verse, if she is tan to a dark level like that, oh, she's black now. Until she until she takes a cold shower and then I mean obviously it doesn't work that way, but you know what I mean. I don't understand. I don't understand. And by the way, Brandy, I really liked your drawings of Momo. Really nice, really nice. Love to see it. And you also did. There was a drawing that you did a while ago that I wanted to see. It. I actually forgot to look at it. It's a bit far up here. Let's see. Let's see. Where is it? 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 You see, I remember. Oh dang! Wait, where is it? Did you delete it? Oh, Liz. Okay, this is the Liz one that I liked. But there was another drawing that I liked that you did. I just didn't see it. I mean, I didn't like it because I didn't see it yet. But I got a notification that you posted it. Where did you post it? Was it on your Discord that you posted it? I'm gonna have to go check over there too. They can get really dark. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like they act like tans don't exist at a certain point. Um, I have a question. Um, like, never mind. Wait, no, I have to ask a question because I don't know where. Oh, never mind. I found it. Never mind. Never mind. I really like this drawing a lot. I'm telling you, man. Brandy just draws whatever she just like. She thinks of something and then she draws it. It's wild. It's wild. I mean, it's nice, but it's just like it's crazy because I'm just like, how the heck did you get from drawing all this to end up drawing that? Wild. Oh, I want to see Jesse's one. Jesse's one of my favorite OCs. Yes, she just looks so like she just looks so nice. The hair and everything. Jesse's really nice. And I like the earrings. Really nice. Okay, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I forgot for a second. Yeah, I was looking, but I didn't see it. I don't know, like, am I just confused or something? Because I'm pretty sure I saw like a notification that you posted something, but I just looked both places and I didn't see it, unless you deleted it after or something. It's like I can't like think of it. There's like a pose that's vaguely there in my mind, and I know once I start it, it will disappear. That's what happens. So I'm trying to see if I can find something that clicks, you know, but nothing is clicking. Something click, something click. Oh, wow. Uh, it's rare when we get a compliment from Titan, so that's why it's just shocking. But I'm glad you like the drawing, Titan. It's honestly pretty rare. All right, maybe let's try this. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to draw a nice box, like so. A nice one that goes like this. And then we're going to draw another box. I'm going to make it wider though, because this is a bigger lady. Is she single? Um, yeah, as of now, she is single. She is single as of now. And let's do these. And then come down, and then go out, and then go in, like so. And then let's come down like these. Doesn't really need to be like that. And then this leg right here. Wait, no, we're gonna bring this in. And then this leg right here is gonna come down. It's gonna come out and go down. And then go like these. Yippee! No. No. I feel like she might not be the right girl for you, Zero. Out of all my characters, I mean, honestly, I mean, nah, she's pretty insane. Zero's not an insane type of person. I mean, Zero's not one to want an insane type of person. So I'd say maybe, hmm, I don't know. I don't know if I have an OC for you, man. I don't know if I have an OC for you. Honestly, maybe in the future, but as of now, I don't. You gotta look. You gotta look. And I usually have an OC for everybody. I just have so many characters, you know. Oh crap! I forgot. Wait, what? I thought I. Is it not? Oh, it isn't. That's tough. Yeah, honestly. And then this leg will come down like so, and then this will come down like this, and then this will go down like this, and then this will go down and go up, and then this will go here, and then just drawing like simple, quick things, and then this round. So how's the guy character coming together? Nah. I just want to make sure we don't get like another year of me having to wait to see your drawing done. Just making sure, you know. Alright, so now we're gonna do like a I mean, I don't know if this is the type of pose that I really want to draw. Right here we'll do a tube. Brandy's second favorite shape. And then a sphere, Brandy's first favorite shape. Is that a reference also, Titan? That I just don't know. Because I don't know. I don't know. So right here, it'll go down in the back. And then it'll come out here. Devil May Cry? Oh. Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know, because didn't you say it was like okay? Didn't you say it was like okay? Like, would you recommend that show to people? You don't know what you're doing? I feel like one of the main reasons why you don't know what you're doing, Zura, is because you're rushing yourself, man. You gotta take your time, man. Slow down a bit. Just cruise, you know? Just go for a nice little cruise. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. That's what you need to do. Cruising like cars, yeah. You know, just cruise. You know, you don't need to. You're not rushing. You don't need to hurt. You don't need to get to somewhere like right now. Just relax. You know, just relax. The road is empty. I think this is a perfect example for it. Zara. The road is empty. All you gotta do is just cruise. You know. Yeah. See if I could get his head right. Then I could show you some, but I'm struggling really bad. Like when you're drawing um, things like the head, the only thing that you really need to that's really difficult when drawing a guy is the torso, really, because everything else is pretty much the same when you're drawing a male or a female. Obviously, you know there are certain things that make a character look more masculine or more feminine, but typically the same. The big difference is this area right here. From here, that's the big difference. This area. See, because like right here, this character right here, the thing that's making her look more feminine, besides like this pose, if you want to really, is this area right here. If I were to blocking this out a little bit more, right, bring the hips in a little bit, I could get away with making this a guy character. This row's empty. I'm finna be. No, I know, but that's what you'll think, right? But you don't need to hurry nowhere. Just take your time. Just take your time. Look at the sights. Look out the window a little bit. Look at the lights. You're on the highway. It's nighttime, right? The streets is empty. The way see the streets are empty. You know, you see the street lights up. It's just a vibe. You know, we just cruising. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about, man. I don't like this pose. I don't like it. Fair enough. Yeah, you know. No, of course, but like I mean, like when you're drawing a generic character, a generic female character and a generic male character, right? Because that's what you really need. That base. Once you have that, you can tweak it all you want, you know. But right now, I just want you guys to get the generic base female character and male character. Once you have that, you can continue to evolve it, you know. Make the hips bigger, make them smaller, right? Make the shoulders wider. You can get like a female with really wide shoulders if you want to also. And really narrow hips, but still make her look a little bit more feminine. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. When I told you to draw the character, I mean draw the hair on the character, did you do it? Because you didn't send it to me. I'm waiting to see that. That's the thing that I'm waiting to see. Show me that. Show me the practice of the hair. I want you to show me that. That's what I want you to show me. And by the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure to hit it with a like and subscribe if you're not already. I don't want to see nothing else yet, Zura, until you show me the thing with the hair. Alright, so this part coming down right here, and then it will wrap around here, going in, going up. This part going like this, like that, and then this part going like this, and going up, and then this part going out, coming down, and going down, and turning over, and then this part going out, out, going down, like this, and then through the knees, and then coming down. Bro, are you getting it right though? Um, with the hair, I think one of the issues is the fact that you're drawing it too close to the head. Like right here, if I were to draw hair on this head right here, this boxy head right here, I'll have to understand that. Let's say right here is her hairline. The distance between like the top of her head should be different. You understand? Does that make sense? So like, okay, let's say if I were to just do this on a basic way, right? Having right here be this, right here be that, right here be this. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then let's get the rest of the head here. And then we'll round her head like this. And then we can get this part going in like this. Okay, so if we have the general idea of where her head is, right? We have to understand there's like there's like the hair isn't like it's not flat on the head. There's like some volume to it, so you have to account for that. And with what I see, you have her hair like right on her head, if that makes sense. I mean, it's supposed to be on her head, but it's like there's supposed to be a little bit more volume there. It's like too much on it, if that makes sense. Especially with the drawing that you have. Especially with the drawing you have. It isn't really clear. Yeah, like the part that's on top of the head, of course. Yeah, definitely. Okay. I might. I don't know. I don't know, man. I want to give her some boots, but I don't know if I want to. I mean, it makes sense that for her to have boots at a certain point in time, or it's like, um, some yeah, definitely boots, because what's her name has boots, and I don't think she would let her be out barefoot. That'd be bad parenting. It'd be terrible parenting. If you murder the, she's not a murderer. Who? I'm not talking about her. Who's a murderer? Or can I even say that? Uh, uh, I don't know. this leg, this part right here coming down, and this part going out like that, and then this part going up. And a knee, another knee, and then the leg coming down like this. But Brandy, what are you working on now? Let's bring this part out like this, and then this one, let's bring it back this way. I guess this leg should come in a little bit more. Actually, that seems fine. She's cute. I think she turned out fine. I think she turned out nice. Very tragic backstory. One of the worst in this part. But it's so interesting because I was watching a TikTok video, somebody talking about that. It was like a funny thing. They were like, create character. Prepare for the tragic backstory. And I'm like, yeah, crazy. Like, everybody doesn't need to have a tragic backstory, though. I have some people who have nice lives or nice backstories. Some of them are just more psychologically damaged than physically, too. You know, you gotta think about a variety of things. But it's always cool creating characters. Let's give her her neck. And let's give her her head. And then let's give her the shoulder. The other shoulder isn't going to be visible. Only this hand right here is going to be visible. Yeah, let me actually tweak this. And then let's do, let's see. Yeah, nah, you're not doing it right. Because I don't want you to draw that line for the hairline. Don't do that. I want you just to, this is why I wanted you to turn off the saturation, but it's harder for you to do. What I want you to do is don't think about, what the heck? Oh, okay. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Don't think about the face. Like, if you can, try to block out the face, because the main thing that you're here for is the hair, right? So I want you to try to break down the hair. You see, this is why it's easier when you're muting it. Oh snap! Okay, we're getting some more May. That's cool. When I draw hair, I just try to think about the overall shape. I'm not worrying about where her face is. I'm just looking at like the hair, just the shape of the hair. Okay, this part right here is like this space between where the out part of her hair and the in part of the top part of the hair, because her hair is split into like two parts, right? So now I have this part. I think about the bottom part, which starts about like right here, and then we're able to break down the shape like this. You don't have to use the shapes that I use, but I want you to break it down to a point where you don't even need to draw her head. You can draw the hair without it. You know what I mean? So you can understand the shape. Like this right here, all you got to do is take this, theoretically, and place it on top of your hair. I mean, on top of your head. Uh-oh. So I want you to try to break it down. Don't think about her face. Don't think about the hairline. Don't think about nothing inside. No details. Just shapes. If you can, you can block them out. Like use like a really hard round brush and just block out the shape. Just so you can get like an overall silhouette of her hair. You're like, okay, so if her hair was, or her face was covered like that, we can get something like this. If we want to, we can add some of the curls, the extra curls at the top, but this is all additional details. We add the waviness to her hair on the sides. Right, looks like the outside curves back in a couple times. Curves back in a couple times. The outside does a little bit of curling like this. Some loose strands of hair. You know what I mean? So just try to break it down that way. I move now, move out. Hands up. Now hands down. Back up, back up. Now what you gonna do? I just slapped the hair on a little. I mean, yeah, but I mean that works too. But it depends. Like once you understand how to break it down, because what ended up happening to me was once I saw like a video of somebody telling me what I was doing, because I was just doing it randomly. Because I don't know if you guys remember the TikTok lives that we did back in the day, but what I do is I just have my character's head, you know, whatever. We just have the character's head, and then I'd be like, I'm gonna draw hair, and then I just start drawing like a nice little silhouette of what I want their hair to look like. And I didn't really think anything of it until somebody was like, "Oh, so what you should do is try to break it down to simple shapes." And I was like, "Ah, I mean, I've been breaking it down to shapes this whole time, but now it makes more sense why I do it the way that I'm doing it, and it just made it a lot clearer to me." So I'm trying to explain it the way that he taught it to me. He said to split it up into simple shapes. Obviously, it's just a crazy way of doing it, but break it down into simple shapes, and then it'll work. It should work from there. Especially when you have like a really like a nappy hairstyle, very nice because the hair ends up staying. You know, you can do anything with it. Anything really. So yeah, Zora, don't worry about the hairline. Don't worry about none of that right now. I want you to try to break down the hair. Try to, like, if you want to, just remove her face on the drawing. Block her face out so you can focus on the hair specifically. Because that's what you're trying to work on, you know? And if you can break it down like that, it makes it a lot easier when you're drawing it in different angles too. If I try to draw this in a different angle like so, thinking about like the box, and I'm like this, and I'm like, okay, so this part right here is like the top. This is the center right here, and then if I were to draw inside of it like this part here is the back, and then this part comes down to the sides, so I bring it down like this, something like that, Once I have that, I can wrap it around to the front, I mean to the side here, on this side, going down on this side, coming down, and then getting like a shape like this, so I can have it wrap around. And obviously I'm just doing geometric shapes here, but I'm just trying to understand just the idea that this is supposed to go on top of it. Okay. And then I can start thinking, okay, so we're gonna now add form to the hair. And let's say her hairline is like about right here, maybe a little bit higher. Let's put her hairline like right here. And then it makes it a lot easier to follow the form of the hair without even drawing the head. You know what I mean? So break down the shape first. Don't worry about the features of the face yet. Ow, ow, ow. Oh my goodness. You see this right here? I really like the expression she got on her face right here. We love to see it. We love to see it. Brandy. What was her hair before? Oh, it was a fro. Honestly, I can see why you could change her hair to this. I feel like with this, her hair, she has a little bit. I don't know. I'm liking it now. I think her new hairstyle is growing on me. Just don't change May's hair, okay? May has one of the best hair in my opinion out of all your characters. One of my favorites. I'll say that. Jesse's hair is nice too. Um, if I were to rank my favorite hairstyles, May is definitely number one. I love it. Um, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to go back all the way up to that one drawing that you did. I mean, when you showed all your drawings. Okay, right here. Um. Hmm. Ooh. I like Umaru's hair. It's kind of yeah. May's number one definitely, but Jessie, I like her hair too. Momo's hair, silhouette is nice too. Man, I don't know. It's just like you got so much stuff. You copied the way that I did it. No, no, no. Listen, I want you to break it down, right? Don't just copy what I did. Understand what I did. Try to understand what I did. That's the only way it's going to work for you. Truly. I am starving. I'm so hungry. I don't like this arm. a second. Huh. I mean, I guess. Okay. Was this? Yeah, it was. Okay. Confused for a second. Alright, so now we'll do some line art. Just to clean it up a bit. Okay. I might have to, you know, no, we're not gonna worry about that right now. We're just gonna do it straight up. Were you saying something crazy? Let's get that belt. Huh? I was saying how Lent was ending next week. What is Lent? Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna keep the pants exactly like this, because I know I want it to flare out a little bit. So I want it to kind of be like Jinx's, but not exactly. I want to make sure the skin is thinner. The line art for the skin is thinner. But when it comes to the clothing, I wanted to make it a little bit bulkier. Just to have some variations there. Let me just make sure I'm on a different layer. Okay, we're good. Okay, let's see what you got. Not bad, but you also have to remember it's supposed to be symmetrical, All right, on both sides. So remember to flip your canvas. I don't know how to flip your canvas on your thing. Maybe the top. You see that one that logo that looks like these. That logo. Press that. It might let you flip horizontally. I don't know because I've never used that program before. I don't know. I'm gonna crash out. Don't crash out. Just calm down, man. Calm down. Just relax. Just relax. Like I said, cruise, man. I didn't say speed. You don't gotta worry about it because at the end of the day, if you get to your destination, everything is cool. You know, you're fine. So don't try to rush it. All right, so right here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fix this. I'm going to round it, and then this part right here we're gonna go, and then this part right here we're gonna go. Wait, no, we're gonna go like that. Going to bed. Good night. Have a great night, Brandy. Alright, so right here we're gonna separate the. We're gonna separate right here the toe right there. We're gonna separate this one as well, and then we're going to separate this one because there's only 4 toes. So as long as we have like the gaps for all 4 of them, then we should be fine. I always end up like, not always, but I be forgetting the numbers, you know. What do you mean? I'm completely confused. I want to make this one smaller. I'll just have her like, I don't know. I was really confused. Um, yeah, which one am I? I'm not Catholic. I'm not. I mean, would it be Protestant? I'm not Orthodox. This is process of elimination time. I'm not Mormon. I'm not Mormon. Uh, um, Yeah, this is a process of elimination. Mormons are not Christians. I mean, Mormons are Christians. I mean, they say they are. Check whip right now. All right, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. I feel like the. Hold up, Brandy just posted something else. Oh my goodness, that's Liz look crazy. Liz look like she was about to cut somebody. I mean, I guess Liz is a surgeon. I feel like the issue that we're having. I feel like the issue that we're having right here, Zura, is the fact that you're trying. I feel like you're just you're. It's kind of like you have like a missile potato head, and you're just adding every single thing onto it, like you know what I mean? Which is an issue. But that's the thing, though, Titan. This is why I don't like to really follow like all these denominations. All I know is I follow Jesus or Yahusha, depending on how you want to say it in the Hebrew Aramaic. I don't know how to say that. His name is Yahusha, but in obviously the translation they translated it to Jesus, which is crazy to me because I'm just like, how the heck did you get Jesus from Yahusha? I guess, but there's a whole bunch of other things off that also that I don't want to get into right now. But I just follow him and his ways of doing things because at the end of the day, he's the way anyway. So there's no reason of me following anything else but him. I really don't like this top. I mean, it looked good in theory. It looked good in my mind. Aramaic, yeah, that one. It's based on Jesus. It's based on Joseph Smith's version. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how the Romans couldn't read the Bible and this thing Jesus wearing fine cloth. Trying to figure out how the Romans could read the Bible and depict Jesus wearing fine cloth. Aramaic. Ah. What's up, Ethan? I mean, Zura. There's too many names I gotta remember now. Even though I just gotta, just, because sometimes I don't even read you guys' names. I just say what name comes to mind when I see the chat. Check whips. What do I do? Man, you did it again. You did not post anything. And now you telling me to check. I was there. There's nothing new here. I want to finish the hair today. Okay, look. If you wanna get it as clear and accurate as possible, what you can do is just like try to. Okay, look at her face. Okay, look at her face. Let me just draw a base. Okay, let me just use this one. All right. So if I'm looking at the drawing or the picture's face, right? What I can do if I want to try to get the design pretty accurate. So I'm like, okay, so this is where my character's nose is. Looking at where her nose is, it's saying that the hair should be down to like right here, right? So that we have this, we know where her hairline is. We'll just go up, curve it in like this, and then come out uh, to that point that we made right there. All right. Once we have that, we can go out like so. So when you're drawing the hair, try to get make a line right under your ear, her ear. Right here, right here, right. Once you have that, it looks like her ears are covered, so that you don't have to worry about the ears. I mean, you didn't draw the ears anyway. You should still probably draw the ears. Once you have that, add some distance because you gotta understand this hair is on her, but it's like it's not on her, but it is. You know, you gotta add some volume to it. So then you go up, find the center of her head, go up a little bit higher, then follow this shape right here. Once you have that, you should have the top part of her hair. You should always start with the top part of the hair when you're drawing like wolf cuts, mullets, all this stuff. Once you have that, then find where her neck is. I mean, obviously this character's neck is pretty long, so I'm gonna find like a place where it should probably end right here. But on yours, I guess you can just go down to the shoulder, and then you'll go out following the shape like this. Once you have this shape, you can break it down into simple, like more interesting shapes to make an interesting silhouette. And then add some more hairs that come out this way, darkening these areas in the back to show the back of the neck. And then add some more loose strands of hair if you want, just to make the hair look messier. And then there you go, you have the wolf cut thing. You didn't put another thing there. I'm still seeing the same sketch that you showed me last time. But it's always interesting though when denominations and everything comes into play. Cause I grew up, I guess you can say Baptist, right? But I've also met pastors and people that I don't really understand what they're talking about, because when it comes down to um, like the world, like when they become poppin', let's say that these pastors and these churches and stuff, they just start saying anything for anything, you know. And that's when things start getting a little iffy for me, because the book don't say that, bro. But you're just making things up. So I don't like to really say I'm a part of any specific denomination. I just do what my boy said. I mean, I'm not gonna say my boy because you know it's disrespectful, but I'm just gonna say what he said. He said, "Just follow me and you'll be there." And I'm like, "All right, man. If you say so, that's what I'm gonna do." I really like this bell. I like it. Like I don't know, it just ties everything together. It just does everything together. Um, do I believe that speaking in tongues is actually a thing? Yes, I do. But I feel like people be like, um, people be milking it, if that makes sense. Like I believe it truly is a thing, right? But I think if you go somewhere and like I feel like most of the time when you see it, like people doing it and like these people doing it, I'm I believe they be lying. They just be doing stuff just cause, you know? Cuz it gets to a point where it's gotten to a point where speaking in tongues is such a it's so authentic, and it means that you're the closest to him and you're so right. But as soon as somebody starts speaking in tongue, then now everybody knows how to, and I'm just like, listen. Somebody said something very important that I remember them saying. They said, if you can't do it privately, you shouldn't be able to do it publicly. And that makes so much sense to me, because I'm just like, speaking in tongues is like when you're speaking, like practically, like not in your vocal, like you're not speaking, your spirit speaking, right? But these people just, it's just like a thing. I'm just like, nah. I'm just like, nah. But I do believe it is truly, it is truly a thing. But sometimes people be just lying about it. Just to, it's like a FOMO type thing, which is crazy. Because now it's just like, oh, if you don't speak in tongues, then you're not really a. And I'm just like, what? When I don't remember it saying that. Crazy. You're speaking language that is unknown. Yeah. Yeah. It just. I don't know. It just starts getting like, cause it just feels. Cause I feel like um you can kind of tell when it's real. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like scary in a sense. It's just like something is happening. You know what I mean? But when it's forced, it's just like, yeah, come on, yeah, come on. It's kind of like we all do it the same way, and it's like it has to be said. Like I'm just like, come on, this is not it. This is not it. I like adding little things like that, but I wanna like there's something else that I want to add to her design. Like I feel like she had. I don't want to do too much though, you know. 'Cause I have to remember. I have to draw this more and more. Let's get that, and then I'm gonna add some thickness to this collar thing. Boom. Wait, no. If I'm thinking about it wrapping around, I gotta curl like this. Or you know to, or unknown to you. I think yeah, it's like unknown to you. Cause I remember hearing this pastor talk about it, and he was like saying there was these scientists who did like a study, and there was these people speaking in tongues, and the crazy thing that happened was it was like um it was like the signals in your brain that light up when you're speaking verbally wasn't lighting up when they were speaking in tongues. It was kind of their body was doing like it was just coming out, but not from their own will. And that's how you see it. You know, it's like it's not from you, so you shouldn't be able to do it like on a whim. You know what I mean? So it's like it just takes over. It's like your spirit takes over, and that's why when I'm like, because when I've heard it, and I feel like there's moments when I heard it for real, it's like terrifying because I'm just like something is happening right now. You know what I mean? But that's why it throws me off when people are just like, "Oh, okay, well, I can do it too." I'm just like, I mean, that's like okay, but why are you? Why does it feel like you're just trying to um you just want to say that you can? Because that's not the point, man. It isn't the point. All right, now let me go back to look at her. Let's see, what am I missing? Okay, so she has a patch here. She has a scar on her shoulder here. Okay, let's get this to curve around, and then she has a scar here. I think I might make it a little bit lighter, because like, since I already have the skin at this level, I'm going to make this actually thicker, actually, because it just makes sense to me. Okay, so she has a collar and she has a belt, and they're both black. And then now I'm gonna get this thing, her arm. I think actually I'm gonna remove that part right there. Okay, wait. Alright, so if that's like that, okay, maybe should it be like that? Because if her arm is like this, but this thing is tight here. Alright, so I have to try to imagine this. Okay, okay. I mean, yeah, it should probably just connect like that. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Why did I say what, like, what? Oh, never mind. But so yeah, Titan, like I was saying yesterday, did your manga get an anime? I mean, is the anime out for your manga thing? Because I saw a picture. I want to see if I can find it. Because I saw a picture and I was like, "Isn't this Titans like manga?" And then you were like, "Man, I don't got a manga." And I'm like, I mean, obviously not your manga specifically, but like the manga that you were talking to me about. Uh, the one with the watermelon chick. I thought I saw it said one episode is out. I could be wrong. You see, you said it again. There's a manga. The one with the, okay. Let me see. No, I'm never gonna find it. I'm never gonna find it because I don't know the name. I'm never gonna find it because I don't remember the name. I just remember the watermelon chick. That's all I remember. She had glasses. She had black hair. She was eating a watermelon. I don't know her name. I don't wanna be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. All I have to do is think of me and my pizza. Okay. Yeah. It got an anime, didn't it? The first episode. Yeah. So what you think about it? Is it did it did it live up to its manga? Did it live up to the manga? Episode 1. It was good, but I'm scared. Yeah, I understand. I understand. They be messing things up. Yeah, I saw this picture. I saw the picture. This picture. Oh, okay. Uh, Ooh, that was pretty clean. Oh dang, those glasses are dusty. Ah, animation's looking pretty clean. Uh oh. Oh, that's a really cool style right there. Oh, this is the watermelon scene right there. Right there. There's the shot from the manga. It's the last thing that I saw from the manga. Right here. That's the last. That's the last. I mean, actually, no, I saw more after, but and then she goes out and then she smokes one of them. Yep. The animation's looking clean. It's looking clean, really clean. Like that sequence right there. Hold up. It was nice. Very nice. But I understand. I understand. I understand. Crap. Wait, why did I do that? I mean, I guess we can just go back up. Oh, Brad, did you watch the superhero anime? I mean, no. You guys are gonna say My Hero again. The what is it called, bro? The Hero X. Did you watch it? Did you watch the episode? I think it's the type of thing that you would like. Animation looks pretty good. I mean, the animation looks really good actually. It gives me like a mix of Arcane and Spider Verse. Like a mixture of the two. Yeah, I saw that. Okay, so what you think? What you think? I feel like I liked it, but like Titan said, I'm also scared. You know. But the thing is, I'm not too scared because of the fact that I didn't know anything of it until I saw it. I don't know if it was a manga. I don't know if this is just a new thing. So I'm still pretty open to it. You know, like we'll see what ends up happening. But every single time I end up liking a first episode since that one anime did that to me, I'm always like nervous. I'm just like, come on, come on now, just don't mess this up, please. We have nothing else. Just please. I mean, I guess we have vigilantes right now. MFKZ? What the heck? Oh, Titan. Uzumaki? It disappointed. Yo, I heard that too. I heard it was bad. Uh, Uzumaki. I waited for. Dang. Okay. 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 You were waiting for this, and this is what they did to you. I understand. Whoa. 4 years. That is the worst thing though. When you're, because the thing is like, man, it sucks. You seen this before back in high school? Oh, the movie. I think her hair needs to be a little bit higher. And then right here, she has this black part in her hair that she dyed. Okay. Hey, guys, by the way, if you're enjoying it, make sure you hit the like on the stream and subscribe if you're not already. I'm actually liking the strong. I'm glad that we actually were able to do something though. We're actually able to get something down here. You know, we've been slacking. This is why I need to just set up the drawings before we watch anything, just so I have something, to show at the end. Check what. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, alright, okay, alright. 22. Okay. Better. I'd say better. But like I said, try to think, try to remember that it's symmetrical. Best way to do that is to draw a line and then draw a thing on top like that. And then now I want every single thing that you do it, to mimic it on the other side. Right? The best way to try to get your thing to look perfectly symmetrical is to draw them at the same time. Definitely a bit off, but that's the best way I can teach you to do it. Which is why I said you need to flip your canvas. But it is better than the last one. I'm happy with where it is. No, like I said, it is better than it is, but it's because this side right here, on this side you have it going up like this, and then this side you have it going down. But like I said, it is better. It is better. But just so you can like have it look similar on both sides. And remember the fact that the hair covers the neck. So like when you have long hair like this, remember that it's going to be covering part of her neck because it's going over, it's wrapping over. But besides that, it's looking good. It's looking better. Oh, there's this thing that actually wanted to see. I actually had it here and everything. Since we already have like some things put down, I guess we can play it.
Imagine one morning you wake up to this guy screaming outside of your house into a megaphone. You walk outside to find out that he is with a television crew and they are sending you and your family on a 1-week vacation, and during that time he is going to demolish your home and build you a brand new one from the ground up. Although it's pretty obnoxious, it sounds like a pretty good deal, right? Well, it is a good deal until it's not. Foreclosures, angry community members, property tax increases, bills doubling to tripling, and even more family struggles. Many of the families that were featured on Extreme Makeover Home Edition ended up worse off than before Ty Pennington showed up on their doorstep.
Dang.
But to fully understand how some families
I always
were
think about that.
negatively affected by what
I always think about that because once I heard about the thing with Exhibit and Pimp My Ride when they had to remove the stuff out of the car and all that stuff, and some of the things in the car didn't work, like when they had that fish tank and stuff, I always end up thinking, yo, ain't this going to like cost more money to keep up? You know, like imagine they gave you a car, they got an Xbox in the back built in, you can play games in there, you know, like wouldn't the car, like wouldn't the battery die a lot faster? You know what I mean? Like something is not going to work like normal. I'm gonna have to keep getting this car fixed and fixed and fixed. They ended up in junkyard. Yeah, I heard like a lot of stuff, like bad stuff, happened to those cars. I mean, with those cars, some of them, sometimes they took them back, sometimes they stripped all the stuff away. Crazy.
to be a very generous gift, we must first take a look at the families that were carefully chosen to get these home remodels. Typically, individuals would fill out an application form on the ABC website, which required them to provide a story of why they deserved a new house. You could also nominate another family, such as a friend or a member of your community. Every episode starts with a story of the deserving family in need,
That look
such
like the
as a
Big
family
Show.
that lost their mother or father, a family with a disabled child, a family that's living in poverty, or a family affected by a natural disaster.
Oh, dang.
Since this was a reality television show, it was very important to produce the most tear-jerking episodes possible, featuring stories that would deeply tug at the viewer's heartstrings. Some people argued that specifically targeting families who had endured unimaginable tragedy and faced overwhelming hardship was ABC exploiting them for better ratings. Joe Scarborough of MSNBC claimed that Extreme Makeover has a secret wish list of victims the show is trying to hunt down. They want to find a family who has multiple children with Down syndrome. They
Dang.
want to find a child with a rare condition that causes rapid aging and death. They want to find an extraordinary mom or dad who's diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease.
What the?
Now, if the show was aggressively targeting these people, sure, that's a bit weird, especially because it's likely for the TV ratings and not for charity. However, it is still a good deed. Plus, if they helped out middle-class families or ones that seemed like they weren't that bad off, they would be criticized for not focusing on a more deserving family. I don't think Home Makeover is taking advantage of the families. However, I do think that monthly subscription sites take advantage of you and know that
It's the Big Show. Yeah, it looked like him, but it's like crazy because thinking about it, like with my mindset now, because back then obviously you were like, man, I want a flat screen TV in my back seat. But think about it now, ain't no way I'm calling into these people and telling them, yo, can y'all hook my house up or hook up my ride? No, they go mess it up. They go mess something up.
most people forget to cancel their subscriptions. Well, today's sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is an
actually a good thing.
funded vacation to destinations such as Hawaii, California, or Florida. During the family's trip, ABC would rally hundreds of contractors, construction workers, and volunteers in the local community to help. Sometimes they would even make Facebook pages so all their neighbors could stay up to date. Oftentimes, the volunteers are critical for the house getting completed on time. Then, Ty Pennington would video call the family and show his crew absolutely destroying their house. And sometimes they would take it too far. Take the Rapati Pierce family, for example.
Oh, no.
The mother and father were both police officers, and one tragic night, Christina was shot during a foot pursuit, which led to her being paralyzed from the waist down.
Oh my
So they
God.
hired the LA SWAT team to place bombs inside of the house, detonate them, then drive a massive battering ram attached to an armored truck to destroy the house.
What?
Now, obviously, they have to do demolition to rebuild a new house from the ground up, but it would still be a bit traumatic to watch your home filled with all those memories get smashed to a
That's the
million
thing that throws me
pieces.
off,
But
too.
the ridiculousness didn't stop there. Remember, this is reality TV. Just building a very practical, standard, and modest home wouldn't be good enough. So the carpenters and designers were pushed to create increasingly elaborate designs and gimmicks to boost ratings, such as this airplane-themed bedroom with bags of peanuts as curtains, this very small backyard that was converted to a miniature go-kart track. How many trips around that go-kart track would a kid be able to do before they get absolutely sick of it? Why not a playroom with a ball pit containing 27,000 plastic balls? And my personal favorite, a teenager's room entirely made out of duct tape.
What the?
I have a bedspread and a
Yo,
pillowcase
I am
made
gonna
out of
lie to you though. Back in the early 2000s, who here? Listen, raise your hand if you had a duct tape wallet. Raise your hand. I'll wait. Cause ain't no way y'all weren't out here with one of them duct tape wallets. Man. But my whole room being duct taped? Oh, nah. Nah, I'm good on that. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Not being the case. This is, I mean, yeah, I can do this if I just stretch this up. Right there.
Grows up, so they put EKG signals on the walls
What
and
the?
a dresser designed to look like a human heart.
Oh,
Rooms
no.
like this seem very difficult to age in, and the tacky designs would actually take a considerable amount of effort to change.
Oh, that look like
But
Lil
sometimes
Bow.
It wasn't just tasteless designs. They would actually create new responsibilities that the family may not have even wanted. For example, this teenager got a jacuzzi that took up half the bedroom.
What
Could
the
you
heck?
imagine your room constantly smelling like hot chlorine water? The
What
cost to
the
maintain a
heck?
jacuzzi is only about $20 to $40 per month in sanitizer and chemicals, but even doing the maintenance is a burden that maybe nobody wanted. Just draining
Who
that
wants a
water
jacuzzi in your
into the walls
room?
like you're supposed to would be incredibly inconvenient. Another thing they did often was add huge fish tanks or animal habitats, like this boy's room that looks like the reptile section at a pet store, complete with frogs, turtles, and lizards.
Nah.
Buying pet food, supplies, and cleaning the tanks is even more important because it will literally kill the animal if you don't. Extreme Home Makeover inserting new responsibility onto you without your choice isn't isn't only annoying, for some people it created even more problems and financial stress that ultimately forced them to move
what
out
the
of
heck?
their homes. Now, most
What
of
a-
the time,
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
ABC would entirely pay off the home for the family. However, owning a home is more than just paying the mortgage. Expenses such as property taxes, utilities, and home maintenance add up extremely quickly. There have been multiple reports of families whose expenses doubled, if not tripled, within the first year of living there. The Dickinson family went from an 1,800 square foot ranch to a 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom,
Oh my
4,000 square foot
Oh
super
my
home
God.
equipped with cutting edge technology. So it's only natural to assume that the bills would go up.
Hold up.
Their electric bill alone went from about $200 per month to as high as $600.
Okay, that's
after.
insane. But the thing is, this is what I'm thinking. So if I were to like get my house, like let's say, like done up or whatever, like they demolished it and then they built it back up into some crazy like 8 room like thing, right? How is that gonna work? Like how how is that gonna work? Cause I feel like they're not gonna let that slide. The people who I'm talking about, they're not gonna let that slide. They go try to do something. I don't know.
Their property taxes tripled. The wife India said she wasn't worried.
Exactly, that's what I was
My
thinking.
husband works,
The
and
property
I work,
taxes.
so if I have to work another job to help keep it up, that's what I'll do. But as the years went on, it got worse and worse. And in October of 2016, William filed a Chapter 13 bankruptcy
Oh my
petition to
gosh.
save his home from foreclosure. He had only $5 in cash, $287 in a checking account, and $15 in a joint savings account at the time of filing. However, it seems like they never lost the house, because on 2022 Google Maps you can see William and his daughter standing outside the front door proud of their estate. But that situation was nothing compared to the Oakvath family. The Oakvaths were from Gilbert, Arizona, and their story began with a heartfelt letter from their daughter Cassandra, who requested the show to renovate the cancer ward where she had been a patient.
Oh, dang.
Touched by Cassandra's selfless request, the producers not only granted her wish, but also surprised the family of 9 with a 2-story mansion. The construction involved a massive team of 1,600 contractors and volunteers that garnered attention from across the state. Unfortunately, this wasn't happily ever after. Utility costs reached $1,200 for electricity per month and $400 per month for water. Property taxes increased from $1,600 pre-makeover to $5,600 after.
Oh my
Brian
gosh.
lost his job and was battling depression. With no other immediate solution, they used their house as collateral to take out a $405,000 loan. It was an adjustable rate mortgage, and the payments became too much for the family to handle. This was their dream home,
Oh, no.
and they knew they couldn't afford it. Craziest part is, they never even asked for this in the first place. The ironic part about these situations is that people's first instinct is to doubt the families. Why couldn't they figure it out? Why not get another job? Why didn't they just sell the house? Most of the time, nobody wants to buy these homes. The Oakvaths listed their house for $1.8 million, then slowly started to lower the price over the next year. Out of desperation, they ended up selling for $540K, just enough to break even on their loan and maybe put a down payment on a new place. The Beach family have been trying to sell their home since February 2013. The price tag started at $700,000 and is now down to $535,000. They say they've had to sell.
Yeah, but the
because
thing is, you got to think
upkeep of
about
the
it
house
too,
is just
because you got to think about, let's say you buy the house for like 200. Let's just say you buy it for 200, right? And then they end up doing their makeover thing, and now the house is worth way more, right? Like, just to even keep it up, so you can't afford to live there anymore. So then you try to sell it. You're trying to sell it for the amount that it's worth now, but nobody wants to buy it, right? And you can't afford it anymore. So now you just gonna have to keep bringing the price down until somebody wants to buy it. And now when somebody buys it, you got no money. So you're just caught up in this whole situation, especially if you didn't ask for it, because they said his little girl, their little girl asked for it. That is wild. That is wild, man. Like, imagine that you just get a TV crew in front of your house and you're like, hold up, what's going on? They're like, well, your daughter called us, so we're going to make over your house. You're like, all right, okay. And then you just walk away. But they don't tell you, by the way, you're going to have to pay like 5 times what you were paying before to take care of the house. But I don't got that much money. It don't matter. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Too much now. It's a unique home and will take a unique person to buy it. Most critics forget the reason these families got these homes were because they were struggling in the first place. Many of them had pre-existing debt. Some of them weren't even homeowners in the first place. They were renting the house and ABC bought it and built them a new one. Combine these money issues with the family trauma they were all experiencing, and it's a recipe for disaster. From my research, every single family that sold their house sold it for less than what it cost to build. But no matter what reason they chose to sell their house, they faced backlash from the community. Since each home is a community project with hundreds of volunteers, they look at the home like a gift from their neighbors. The Hassel family decided to sell just 3 years later because it was too much stress to handle. Then a publication interviewed members of the community to see how they feel. A lot of people gave time, product, and services. Some are very angry. Some I've run into have asked, why do they deserve it? There was even a letter written to the local newspaper that titled, "The entire Hassel family story is a disgrace and humiliation to this community."
That's crazy. I
The
didn't even
Harper
ask for
family's
it.
house foreclosed, and the mayor's response was, "It's aggravating. It just makes you mad. You do that much work, and they just squander it." Because he helped vault a massive beam into place in the Harper's living room. The Nicholas family received a home after the father died from contracting hepatitis C when he was pricked with a patient's contaminated needle.
Oh,
9 years
dang.
later, the home was foreclosed because the mother could not manage the previous home mortgage and new property taxes that tripled in price. "I feel bad because so many people came together to help us," she said. "I know I shouldn't feel like I let them down, but I do." Many of the families feel guilt and shame that they couldn't live happily ever after. Most of them don't want to sell their houses, but the financial stress and family tragedy is overbearing. As the years went on, ABC scaled back their projects because so many homes were being foreclosed on. They eventually realized these over-the-top charity acts were too extreme to be truly helpful, but then their ratings dropped since the homes weren't extreme enough for TV, which led to the show being canceled in 2012. I also noticed that they only have a small selection of episodes available on Hulu today, and all of the families who went on to sell or get foreclosed on got their episodes removed from streaming services. It turns out when you find a broken family facing hardship and financial problems, build them an extremely oversized home with ugly interiors in the middle of a neighborhood surrounded by other homes not even worth half as much as the new one they just built, it ends up doing more harm than good.
That's crazy. It's sad though. How do I draw
Beyond Scared
clothes?
Straight is easily one of the most controversial shows in history. Parents of troubled
How Beyond Scared Street, what? Fails to prevent kids from becoming criminals? Should we watch that? I don't know. I mean, why not?
youth pay for their children to tour the inside of a prison or county jail
That is so
they can be
crazy.
exposed to the dark reality of life behind
Just beat your
bars.
kids.
When they arrive, they meet with real inmates who strike fear into them with threats, with the goal being to prevent today's teenagers from becoming tomorrow's prisoners. But their exposure therapy techniques are definitely questionable.
What is wrong with you, dog? Chill out. You are starting in the wrong way.
This Kool-Aid, we put this on just like you. Lick your lips. Now stick your hand in that Kool-Aid.
Oh,
Just stick it in there.
oh,
Now
nah,
take your finger, just do this to the bottom.
nah, 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 Man, that kid right there, he was scared straight. This man never went to jail. Nah, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way he did that. And then continue. Nah. Nah. That's crazy. How do I draw clothes? I mean, it depends what the clothes are, you know? It depends what you're trying to draw. Not all clothes are the same. Check whip. Man, if you do this again, like I said, I am not going to check whip again. Because you keep doing this. The overthrow of Conan O'Brien exposed Hollywood corruption.
In 2009, two vastly different men were trying to prove that they deserved to be the host of The Tonight Show. Back and forth insults, the media in a frenzy, and riots in the streets. This wasn't just about TV ratings, it was about integrity, morality, and tradition. On one side, you had Jay Leno, the #1 late-night host in America for over a decade. Jay's humor was simple and formulaic, which earned him a broad mainstream appeal of typically middle Americans who were perhaps a bit headstrong. People who didn't like change.
Okay. With this thing, I actually saw somebody draw this recently. So the best way to do this is to break it up into simple shapes. So if I were to draw this outfit on her, I try to draw the top part. I mean not the top part. This is the top, but the part that covers her chest area. I mean barely, but it covers it. So we'll start from the shoulder, come down, curve over here, and then we'll go over to the other shoulder and have it come down this way. Once you have that, add a little bit of thickness to it. But make sure you remember that it's going to curve over the chest. And have it come over here. And now what we're going to do, we're going to follow it up to here. So following that curve of the shoulder, following up to here, and we're going to add the hoodie in the back. Then we can erase these right here because we don't need them anymore. Then we're going to start from here. We're going to go down, following the curve of the arm, adding some folds. Her arm is going down, so we're going to actually have to account for some gravity. No. Follow the form of the arm by adding some folds. It's pretty baggy, so we can add a little bit more. And then here we can actually add a little bit more thickness because it looks a lot baggier. Erase the inside. And once you have that, start from the waist right here. We're going to have this part come out. And then it's really baggy pants as well. So we'll come down. Add the center line right there. It doesn't have any buckles on it or straps on it, so we're fine on that. You can add just some little details here just to indicate that. And then from right here, around here is where the belly button was going to go. So looking at this, we're going to come down to almost the belly. I mean, like right at the belly button, really. And we're gonna add a triangular shape like this. And then right here is going to be the rest of the body coming down like that. Belly button is going to be like right there. We're going to follow body. And yeah, that's about it. Sounds easy, let me try. Just break it down to simple shapes. Just focus on just take it step by step.
Change. On the other side, you had Conan O'Brien, the man who had been ravaged by the media, labeling him painfully unfunny and annoying, but became so wildly loved, earning him a cult-like fan base of young people who valued his wacky, risky, and non-conventional comedic style. In 2004, NBC struck a deal with Conan that explicitly said in 2009 Jay Leno would step down as host of The Tonight Show, and Jay agreed to this deal. When 2009 came, Conan hosted the show for a measly 7 months before being forced out by NBC. They gave the job back to Jay Leno. One of the shadiest, messiest, and perfect examples of Hollywood corruption just took place in front of the whole world, and outrage erupted. Today we are going to deep dive into all of the details that led to the most chaotic controversy in late-night entertainment history. Make sure you're drinking water. Since its
make sure you're
inception
drinking water.
in the 1950s, late-night programming
I'm done school in 2 weeks. I'll be back. All right, Phoenix.
has fulfilled the desire of networks to expand their broadcast hours and capitalize on the economic opportunity presented by a nighttime audience. In the beginning, it typically appealed to adults who worked all day. Now the kids are asleep, and it's finally time to relax in front of the TV. The shows were scheduled every night, Monday through Friday, typically around 11:30 p.m., directly after the local news. The format included interviews, comedy sketches, and musical performances with various celebrities, politicians, and public figures. The relaxed, informal setting truly felt like you were just hanging out and having a laugh. Late-night programming got Americans more connected to and invested in pop culture, leading to them wanting to consume more movies, music, and entertainment. Late-night programming has also historically been a breeding ground for innovative comedy, because who wants to watch something overly serious or informational after a hard day's work? Late-night television launched the careers of countless iconic comedians.
Jim Carrey.
At one point, it seemed like the only way to become a successful comedian was by getting a spot on Johnny Carson or David Letterman. However, there is one obviously important factor that makes late-night TV thrive, and that's the host. When you have millions of viewers tuning in night after night, in addition to having A-list stars come and hang out, you need to have charm, intelligence, wittiness, someone who can relate to the masses yet have natural conversations with celebrities. Hosting a late-night TV program is one of the most coveted positions in the entertainment industry, and it's typically sought after by comedians. They get to have a consistent job where their comedy and likeness is exposed to millions of viewers every single night. They get to be on the cutting edge of pop culture, which maintains their relevance, not to mention the multi-year, multi-million-dollar contracts. Choosing the perfect late-night host is a big business decision, one that doesn't just impact the network or the comedian, but the entire entertainment industry. And in 1992, television witnessed a major change as Johnny Carson, the most iconic late-night host in TV history, retired from The Tonight Show, marking the end of an era that spanned 3 decades.
Dang.
Carson's final episode was an emotional farewell, watched by over 50 million viewers. When he retired, audiences and the television industry alike couldn't imagine anyone living up to the impeccable standards he set. Replacing Carson would be like sitting on a golden throne in Hollywood. His hard work and diehard fan base would essentially just be given to you. Many expected David Letterman, who had been hosting Late Night since 1982, to be Carson's natural successor. Letterman's show had been airing at 12:30 a.m. directly after Johnny Carson for more than a decade, so they had very similar audiences. However, NBC chose Jay Leno over David Letterman as Carson's replacement. If you ever need a lawyer, Morgan & Morgan make it easy. All law firms are not the same.
Wait,
Morgan
what?
& Morgan is the biggest for a reason, because they've won a lot. Your injury could be worth
How the
millions.
heck?
Liked by his comedy
That's
peers.
crazy.
He was no seasoned In 1992, Jay Leno was a seasoned comedian, well-respected and well-liked by his comedy peers. He was no Carlin or Seinfeld, but he was funny enough for the 80s and 90s. Throughout his come-up, he was a regular on Johnny Carson, whose fan base thought he was hilarious.
That's what you do. You try the jokes out on the road, and then you bring them back and you do them on Monday.
Are you on the, when I travel this summer, they give me a, which I'd never gotten before, the extra mileage or free bonus? What is that?
I'm on the Delta one, the Frequent Survivor program.
Okay.
However, there is a deeper reason why Leno got the position over Letterman. First of all, it's important that Leno would sometimes host as a replacement for Carson, so he was well known and well liked by the NBC staff and executives. He also did a little bit of spy work around the offices. Leno hid in a closet-like office beneath his Burbank studio to listen in on a conference call taking place among NBC executives.
What the heck?
They were discussing who should follow Johnny Carson as host of The Tonight
man
Show,
was a spy?
Leno or David Letterman. While they argued, Leno took notes on what people thought of him and his show. Best of all, he knew exactly who was for him and who was against him. Through his detective work, Leno knew exactly who to please and exactly what he needed to essentially change about himself to get the job. Rick Ludwin, the vice president of NBC from 1983 to 2012, said dealing with Dave Letterman had become bothersome and draining, and he could be unnecessarily rude to network people, not just me. So did that factor into my decision as to going with Jay Leno over David Letterman? You bet it did. Just like many other jobs in life, whether or not one person is more qualified than the other is not necessarily the deciding factor as to who gets the job. It's how well liked you are by the powerful people who make those decisions. Jay Leno has a reputation for being a great guy, a people pleaser, a humble and kind man. But remember, he also had the inside scoop as to who he needed to impress to get the job. Letterman may have been slightly rough around the edges, but that could have been the reason why he was much funnier than Jay.
I'm not angry. I'm not angry at NBC about this. Not angry at Jay Leno about this. Not angry at you or the Tonight Show about this. I mean, realistically, if it were not for you, I wouldn't have a show, and I wouldn't have socks actually if it weren't for you. And now, if the network had come to me and they say, Dave, we'd like you to have this show, and then a week later they said, Dave, we don't want you to have the show, then you could be angry about that.
Ironically, David Letterman just described the exact situation that Conan O'Brien would be put in 13 years later. Letterman felt slighted by NBC. He had been loyal to them for years and helped keep their ratings up through the late hours of the evening. In 1993, he decided to leave NBC and accept an offer from CBS to host a new show, The Late Show with David Letterman. His NBC show aired at the 12:30 a.m. time slot, and now his CBS show would be moved to the coveted 11:35 p.m. time slot, airing at the exact same time as The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. NBC was worried about competing with Letterman. They knew he had a diehard fan base and would steal viewership from Jay Leno. They even threatened to sue Letterman if his new show was too similar to his old show, but his CBS show was virtually unchanged, taking most of the staff, skits, and comedy formats with him. And now with Letterman gone, NBC had to fill the void of the 12:30 a.m. time slot. Comedians Dana Carvey and Gary Shandling declined to host a show. SNL producer Lorne Michaels was brought in to develop the new show, while comedians Jon Stewart, Drew Carey, and Paul Provenza auditioned to host. Unable to find a replacement, Michaels suggested a former writer for SNL turned writer for The Simpsons, Conan O'Brien. When Michaels called about the producer-writer job, O'Brien remembers, "It just didn't feel right. I'd gone through this chaotic period, then done The Simpsons and gotten happy. Why would I jump into this situation when I knew whatever replaced Letterman would be in for a bumpy ride?" After he backed out, Conan felt an immediate sense of relief. However, a couple weeks later, Michaels called to offer the position again. I wasn't thrilled. His then-girlfriend, Lisa Kudrow, felt Conan would be perfect for the position.
Lisa Kudrow?
He's the smartest person I've
Sounds
ever
familiar.
met, the funniest person I've ever met, and he's also the best conversationalist. At any party, you can
Wait.
seat him with any group of people.
I must. Who is Lisa Kudrow? Did I spell it? Did I say wrong? Lisa Kudrow. She's a comedian, writer. Phoebe! What? Phoebe and Conan was a thing? Lisa Kudrow and Conan. Lisa Kudrow and Conan O'Brien dated in the early 1990s from 1988 to 1993. Before Friends premiered, they remained friends. So O'Brien even attended Kudrow's wedding. Dang. Conan was with Phoebe? Oh wait, she married now. Oh, she been married. She been married since 1955. I mean 1995. Interesting.
And get them talking. Conan convinced himself he was not fit for the job. No, I am a writer. I just have to be happy with that. They won't want me. At that point in his life, Conan had less than 1 minute of television performance experience. Ultimately, he decided to audition for the show, where you can tell he didn't feel confident with his performance.
Again, thank you for coming.
How could I miss an opportunity like this?
No. It's not often you get to share camera time with me.
There you go.
That's the end of my mock show. If that's all I ever get, it was a lot of fun. I had a good time.
In a surprising move, NBC offered Late Night to Conan O'Brien, a virtually unknown and inexperienced writer who was about to do a nightly show in front of millions of viewers. Late Night with Conan O'Brien debuted on September 13th, 1993, with Andy Richter as O'Brien's sidekick. In the opening scene, Conan is shown walking to the studio with constant reminders that he must live up to Letterman's expectations.
Hey Conan, Tom Brokaw, I just want to be the first to welcome you to NBC.
Thanks, Tom.
And best of luck to you. Oh, and Conan, one more thing. You better be as good as Letterman. Or else.
This man just crushed some saltine crackers.
I hear you.
What?
In the opening skit, Conan proceeds to go to his dressing room and tie a knot around his neck, setting the tone for his willingness to take comedic risks on late-night television. Viewers were initially skeptical of Conan's comedic style, which was quirky, self-deprecating, and unconventional compared to his predecessor. The show's early episodes were marked by uneven pacing and experimental humor that didn't immediately resonate with mainstream audiences. Conan's nervous energy and inexperience as a performer were evident, leading to mixed reviews from critics. The Washington Post's Tom Shales wrote, "As for O'Brien, the young man is a living collage of annoying nervous habits. He giggles and titters, jiggles about and fiddles with his cuffs. He has dark, beady little eyes like a rabbit. He's one of the whitest white men ever."
Dang.
And back then, a critic's review of a TV show could genuinely impact somebody's career. He was under so much pressure that he had to defend himself on television while being interviewed by Charlie Rose.
Well, I think one thing that's, I wouldn't want to get, I do things, I have tics and mannerisms, and I think sometimes there's a tendency these days to think we've got to get rid of all of those and be just a completely smooth
Plastic.
Performer. And what I think is nice is, no, my voice isn't perfect for TV. I mean, can't you tell? It's there are things about me that aren't perfect for TV. There are times when you can see that I'm just a little thrown, or you can see that I have that I touch my nose, or I do something like that. And sometimes I think, don't get rid of all that. In a way, I think I'm just a real person, and
Because it
doesn't
makes you authentic.
Yeah, I think it's real. If this, I say, if for any reason down the road NBC would decide, well, this show didn't work, I'm proud. I think the humor reflects my sensibility. I think we're going for the
Conan's
music
cool,
and the
man.
guests that reflect my sensibility.
That's why he's the
for
best
most
out of them
part.
all, to be honest.
And we're doing the show I wanted to do.
While Conan seemed neutral about the criticism, he would later admit that reading Tom Shales' critique of him was a dark moment in his life.
We get in like this town car, me and my people, everyone is silent. We get to work, and I quietly go to my office, and no one in the office is saying anything, and I go into my office, and I shut the door, and I got on the floor, and I climbed underneath the desk and just lay there. And at one point after a while, someone on the show leaned in and saw just my legs coming out from underneath the desk. And then the next thing I know, Jeff Ross, our executive producer, is just leaning in, going like, "You okay? Everything all right?" And from underneath the desk, I just said, "I'm fine. I just need to lie here under the desk for a while. I'll start having meetings in like 10 minutes." But that to me is like when the needle got to the lowest.
But he hung in there, and toward the end of the 90s, Conan O'Brien slowly started winning over his audience. If Letterman and Leno were for the dads that worked all day, then Conan was for the 90s kids who were staying up even later than their parents to indulge in his wacky humor. Near the turn of the century, NBC had a powerhouse network that consisted of Leno hosting The Tonight Show at 11:35, O'Brien hosting Late Night at 12:35, and SNL on the weekend. Despite becoming a valuable asset to the network, NBC was unwilling to pay O'Brien on the same scale as other late-night hosts. With less than 1 year left on his contract, Conan began receiving offers from other networks, including Fox, who made a considerable effort to lure him away from NBC, interested in his appeal to a younger late-night demographic. News Corporation chairman and CEO Peter Chernin pursued him personally, taking him and executive producer Jeff Ross to dinner on several occasions. Fox intended to make Conan the face of the network, with his show beginning 30 minutes before Leno's and Letterman's. Conan would be cross-promoted on Fox's animated programming block and on Sunday NFL games. He was also offered a significant pay increase from $3 million to $21 million. Fox was ready to outbid any network if it meant acquiring Conan. They really believed in him. And while the network did everything possible to sway him, NBC executives were optimistic that O'Brien...
I really feel like I want to change everything with this drawing. I'm trying to have like like a I don't know how to explain it. First things first though, let me go check this thing out, because I want to see what it looks like. Let's see, where is she? Here. Uh-oh. Here? Yeah, there she is. Okay, I found her. Because I want to try to make sure the style that I want to go for is similar. Which means I have to change up her eyes. I have to change her eyes. But that's good that we just started with the coloring. I mean, with the flats. We didn't do anything else. So I can just remove these, and I have to redraw her eyes all over again. I mean, not too much. It's because the style that I'm trying to go for, I just realized she's not looking the way that she's not looking like that style, let's say. You know, I knew you were going to say that, bro. Like, I knew you were going to say that. Alright, so is this how she's going to be built? Like, in a sense, like, is this exactly how her body's going to be built? If that's okay, it's okay. I'm just saying, because I didn't know because when you told me to draw her, I'm pretty sure you told me that her apples were different, you know. But, you know, hey, if this is the way that she is, then hey.
Ryan wouldn't budge and offered him a more realistic deal that included a salary increase from $3 million to $8 million while renewing his contract through 2005. At the time, this decision seemed like a no-brainer. O'Brien's professional advisors and managers pushed for the Fox deal. However, Conan wasn't sold. He, like many comedians of his generation, grew up watching The Tonight Show and idolizing Johnny Carson. Conan desired to be Leno's successor and one day host The Tonight Show, and moving to Fox would make that dream nearly impossible. Conan denied the extremely lucrative Fox deal and signed a new deal with NBC in 2002. He chose tradition and legacy over money.
Here's the other thing. I never made a decision in my career based on money. Not once. I'm not going to lie. It's nice to have money.
Right.
But I've also not had money, and I'm okay with that.
That's why Conan's
really
best, man.
wanted to keep my body of work. All I ever wanted was a body of work. My body of work is like the most important thing to me.
It's your legacy.
It's my legacy, and I've put so much into it, and I'm really proud of the good stuff. I'm very proud of. And so the idea of
More tone
leaving
and
NBC
muscles?
on bad terms, or leaving and not having access to 16 years of work that I'm incredibly proud of, was crushing to me. So I do not regret anything.
However, in
Wait a
2004, there
second,
was an
pause.
amendment.
I have to think because I'm doing something right now and I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I'm drawing her face. Yes. Okay, I'm back.
To Conan's deal. This
Okay,
amendment officially promised O'Brien that
where is
he'd
it?
get
Okay,
to host The Tonight Show after a 5-year waiting
this.
period, which would mean that Conan would be essentially passed the torch in 2009. As you can imagine, this put Jay Leno in a weird spot. It was 2004 and basically the network was saying, hey, you're going to be fired in 5 years. By that point, Jay Leno would have been 59 years old, and even he admitted that he should do the right thing and pass the torch over to Conan.
This is not tomorrow. It's 5 years from today, and I want to say I don't think there's a better choice because, you know, when I took this show over, boy, there was a lot of animosity between me and Dave and who's going to get it. And quite frankly, a lot of what I thought, well, good friendships were permanently damaged. And I don't want to see anybody ever have to go through that again. Because this, you know, this show is like a dynasty. You hold it, and then you hand it off to the next person. And I don't want to see all the fighting and all and who's better and nasty things back and forth in the press. So right now, here it is. Conan, it's yours. See you in 5 years, buddy. Okay.
Even though Leno seemed to have the right mentality, behind the scenes he was upset. He compared his removal from The Tonight Show to the end of a relationship, noting that he was loyal and still ended up heartbroken. From his perspective, the decision made no sense. He was still #1 in the ratings and consistently brought in the network money.
I ever tell you what they said to me? I said, I'm #1. You know what they said?
Jay.
We want what's above #1.
No.
Yes, that's my favorite quote.
No.
And I went,
Come on.
what's above #1? I said, we're #1. We're winning in every demographic group. I know, but we want what's above that.
Leno is still adamant to this day that he was forced to agree with this deal. He wasn't given any other option, and he did not want to retire. Howard Stern was a guest on Conan's show in 2006 and warned him that Leno would not give up his show in 2009.
I don't see this guy leaving and letting you walk in, and I'm concerned about you.
You're concerned? What about me?
This is a big effort.
You know what? I'm very philosophical about it. First of all, it's many years off. I think it's still 11 years away.
Is it?
Jay will be like in his late 80s. I will be like 75 when this thing goes down.
This is a guy who stares at the wall all day, Jay Leno. He waits to go to work. You know, he doesn't like to do anything but work. I don't even know if he has sex with his wife. I don't know what's going on there. So this is going to be very... What do you mean, oh? This is comedy fact. Everybody knows it.
They were laughing, but Howard was not joking. Leno is notorious for never not working. Several times, he asked NBC if they would hire a separate writing and production staff for the 8 weeks the regular Tonight Show staff took off, so he could work every week, year-round. Beyond the 46 weeks he worked on television, Leno still performed about 160 stand-up comedy dates a year.
Dang.
But as we got closer to the transition, NBC executives began to get cold feet. By 2007, Jeff Zucker started to consider the potential consequences of losing Leno for the network. Around this time, Fox and ABC were showing interest in Jay as private negotiations took place behind the scenes. Now, the normal and expected thing for Leno to do would be to just do what Letterman did in '93. David didn't get the job, so he moved to CBS and got his show at the 11:35 time slot and started competing with Leno. So then in 2009, Leno could let Conan take over and then go to ABC or Fox and still keep his 11:35 p.m. time slot and just start competing with Conan. But Jay Leno did not want to give up his show, and NBC wasn't necessarily trying to kick him out either, which was
Well, you should keep going because it's good mileage anyway, you know?
a recipe for disaster. You see, NBC wanted to profit off Leno and Conan, but they had no idea how to make them both happy. By 2008, Zucker began making attempts to keep Jay. He gave numerous suggestions, including high-profile specials, a Sunday night primetime show, or even a nightly cable show on USA Network. Jay kept denying all offers, and he also had a very special way of never expressing his true feelings. Like, he would never just openly say, I don't want to give up my show, but instead he would strongly hint at it. Like in 2008 when he said, when you do what I do, it's sort of a populist thing, so when you're not #1, you really lose. I kind of watched Howard Stern. On radio, Howard to me was a populist, the truck driver the average guy would listen to in the cafe. Truck, the old car that's 50 years old and still has an AM radio. Then he went to Sirius, and obviously it was a lot of money, but I don't hear him quoted anymore. People don't say, hey, did you hear what Howard said today? And I'm sure he's still doing what he always does, but to me, that seemed a mistake.
That's a shot.
It seems like Jay is saying that if he left The Tonight Show, he would no longer be number one and would drastically lose his relevance as a comedian and a celebrity, which is true and understandable why he wouldn't want to be in that
He said,
situation.
I'm going to be a bum like
Jay
Howard.
often
That's what he said.
expressed his number one status. He could not stop mentioning it to the world.
Let's start in 2004.
Crazy.
2004, I'm sitting in my office, an NBC executive comes in and says to me, listen, Conan O'Brien has gotten offers from other networks, and we don't want him to go, so we're going to give him The Tonight Show. And I said, well, you know, I've been number one for 12 years. They said, we know that, but we don't think you can sustain that. I said, okay, how about until I fall to number two, then you fire me? No, we've made this decision. I said, that's fine.
However, many argued that the only reason Jay was number one was because of the legacy he overtook, the 3-decade powerhouse of dominance built by Johnny Carson that was just handed to him. If Johnny Carson was like Steve Jobs, building the most innovative and revolutionary tech company in the world, Jay Leno was like Tim Cook. All he needed to do was just maintain the empire that was given to him.
Jay was told 5 years ago that it was his turn to give up the driver's seat, right?
Right.
That is not his bus. That's a 60-year bus that's been driving around the country, the Tonight Show, and if you're lucky enough to get to drive it, when they say, hey, you're done, you give the keys back and you say, thank you, you don't flatten the tires of the guy who comes next.
Jay eventually agreed, again, to give up The Tonight Show. But he didn't leave NBC. Zucker offered Jay Leno a nightly 10 p.m. program. On December 8th, 2008, Leno informed ABC and Fox that he intended to stay with NBC, where he would produce a nightly 10 p.m. variety show titled The Jay Leno Show. And on Friday, May 29th, 2009...
Oh, that's my
Jay Leno did
birthday.
his
That's my birthday right there, bro. I mean, not 2000, I wasn't born in 2009, but like the day. Yeah.
final Tonight Show. He interviewed Conan and did a respectable handing over of the torch.
Listen, I know you got to get back to your studio because I know you guys are doing more test shows. I just want to say I couldn't be happier. You were the only choice. You were the perfect choice. You have been an absolute gentleman in private and in the press. I agree. Conan rocks. Good luck next week, my friend.
Jay, thank you for everything.
And he said, nah, you ain't getting it, brother. That's crazy. But that's good, you know. We got Conan,
Leno
and we got Clueless Gamer. We got, man, this man, okay.
Did the episode by asking viewers to please give Conan as much support as you've given me throughout the years. But this was just the beginning of the most chaotic and corrupt 7-month stretch in entertainment history. On June 1st, 2009, The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien debuted to an audience of over 9 million viewers, performing exceptionally well in the highly sought-after young demographics. Ironically, his first guest, Will Ferrell, predicted Conan's early demise on the very first episode.
This is the first show, the first Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien. It's not a.
No, look,
goodbye.
Don't get me wrong, I'm pulling for you, man.
Yeah.
But this whole thing's a crapshoot at best. You know? We got some shaky studio execs back there,
Okay.
waiting to pull the plug at any second.
All right.
Critics seemed about 50-50 on Conan's
Dang,
first
this
show.
man
One
spoke
described
it.
him as painfully unfunny, whereas Tom Shales of the Washington Post wrote, "There's every indication that O'Brien will be up to the job of his illustrious predecessors." But as the show aired each night, older viewers gradually began tuning out. Now, this was expected, but viewers dropped so low that The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien was surpassed by The Late Show with David Letterman, which hadn't happened in about a decade. While Zucker assured Conan that a drop in viewership was inevitable, executives at NBC began to worry. Over time, Zucker became frustrated with O'Brien's performance as what he regarded as the booking of the wrong stars. In June of 2009, controversy ensued after David Letterman joked about politician Sarah Palin's family. Zucker, who wanted to capitalize on the situation, advised Conan to bring Sarah Palin on the show in a desperate attempt to boost viewership. Not wanting to pander to certain audiences or hurt his relationship with Letterman, Conan declined.
Good on
This
him.
decision reportedly drove Zucker nuts. Letterman maintained higher viewership than Conan for the foreseeable future. And it's not that Conan was a bad host or that his show was bad, it's just that it was entirely different than Jay Leno's version of The Tonight Show, which had previously been on for 17 years. The audience needed a little time to adjust. Jay Leno was more of a stand-up comedian who thrived in observational humor. His opening monologues were sometimes 13 minutes long, like you were getting a stand-up special every night. His famous bits were not deep or comically risky, but rather simple and quick jokes that every dad in America could understand. Like his headline segment where he read silly headlines from local newspapers across America.
And there's some good ones here. I remember these. This is one of my favorites. Miracle cure kills fifth patient. You know! You might want to rethink. Okay, here's a company that's
Isn't that what Jimmy Fallon does?
energy thing
I mean, I
way
guess
ahead of everyone
he
else.
is
Gas
the head of
company
the show, so
behind Wayne Supper. There you are, right there.
it's the same thing.
I like this one. Poverty meeting attracts poor turnout. Really?
Conan, on the other hand, approached late-night TV like a sketch comedy writer would. His show felt more comparable to SNL rather than Letterman.
Our guests don't get paid a cent.
Okay. Oh. That's one thing. Jurassic Park. Oh,
Conan
dang.
was considered by Leno's fan base, as that is mostly who he was broadcasting to be kind of cringy. The Tonight Show audience was perhaps too mainstream for Conan's off-the-wall humor. But the youth loved him, and NBC knew that investing in Conan was probably better for the longevity of the show, as Jay Leno was getting old. And that's where people suspect that Jay was intentionally sabotaging Conan behind the scenes. Part of the reason why Leno was willing to give The Tonight Show to Conan was because NBC gave him a new show called The Jay Leno Show at 10 p.m. So the new NBC TV schedule was Jay Leno Show at 10 p.m., local news at 11 p.m., then Tonight Show with Conan at 11:35 p.m. The Jay Leno Show was not different than The Tonight Show with Jay Leno at all. It was him doing monologues, sitting down with celebrity guests, all in front of a live studio audience. He took the late night format and put it on at 10 p.m., which had never been done before. Many people felt like Jay was essentially trying to recreate The Tonight Show, put it on at 10 p.m. so his fans would go and watch him instead of waiting up all the way until 11:35 to watch Conan.
Completely sabotaged. By going on at 10 o'clock, they gave Jay all the best guests.
Right.
They took away all of Conan O'Brien's excitement and thunder.
Right, and then there's also no...
However, when Leno tells the story, he makes it seem like he didn't even want to do it, and the network would not let him out of a contract.
Okay, but I'm leaving before my contract is out, about 6 to 8 months early. So before I could go anywhere else, it would be at least a year or 18 months before I could go and do a show somewhere else. I said to NBC, would you release me from my contract? They said, no, we want to keep you here. I said, okay. What are your ideas? They said, well, how about prime time? I said, well, that'll never work. They said, no, we want to put you on at 10.
This is better with the style, I think.
People will love you at 10. Well, I don't know. It didn't seem like a good idea at the time. I said, all right. I said, can I keep my staff? There's 175 people that work here. They said, can I keep my staff? I said, yes, you can. Okay, let's try it. We guarantee you 2 years on the air, guaranteed. Now, for the first 4 or 5 months when you're against original shows like CSI, you'll get killed. But in the spring and the summer when the reruns come, that's when you'll pick up. Okay, great.
The Jay Leno Show started strong, racking up 17.7 million viewers and surpassing Conan's Tonight debut in both overall numbers and young demographic. However, like Conan, Leno's ratings began slipping fast. By the show's second week, the show saw a noticeable decline to 5 million viewers, placing immense pressure on the network. Jay Leno's low viewership had a domino effect on all of the shows afterwards. His show was so bad, even the local news was losing viewership.
The late-night shakeup comes, say executives, after NBC's affiliates began crying foul. Despite Leno's repeated plugs,
Your local news starts right now.
those local newscasts are suffering, down on average 30% in the ratings since Leno became their lead-in.
Everyone was blaming Leno for driving down NBC's ratings, but it only got worse. Leno appeared in an October 29, 2009 interview with Broadcasting and Cable where he expressed his willingness to return to his original 11:35 p.m. time slot if offered by the network. He was essentially proposing the idea to take the Jay Leno show that was failing at 10 p.m., move it to 11:35 p.m., and then take The Tonight Show and move it from 11:35 to 12:05. Keep in mind that The Tonight Show aired at 11:35 p.m. after the local news for 60 years straight. Therefore, most people at that point felt that Jay should have said, "Let me not disrupt the honor and the tradition of The Tonight Show, let me just take my L and bow out." But Leno tells the story again like the network was holding him hostage and that Conan was okay with this.
They come and they go, "Listen, this show isn't working. We want to let you go. Can I get out of my contract?" They go, "No, you're still a valuable asset to this company." "How valuable can I be? You fired me twice. How valuable can I be?" I said, "What's your idea?" They said, "Well, look, how about you do a half-hour show at 11:30? Now, where I come from, when the boss gives you a job and you don't do it well, I think we did a good job here, but we didn't get the ratings. Okay, so you get humbled." I said, "Okay, I'm not crazy about doing a half hour, but okay. What do you want to do with Conan? We'll put him on at midnight or 12:05. He keeps the Tonight Show, does all that. He gets the whole hour." I said, "Okay, you think Conan will go for that?" "Yes, yes. Almost guarantee." I said, "Okay, shake hands, that's it."
When very poor ratings came in for the November sweeps period, NBC affiliates became alarmed, and the network's board members demanded something be done regarding the 10 p.m. lead-in. It had only been 5 months since Conan took over The Tonight Show and 3 months since Jay launched his new show, but apparently the network was on the brink of collapse.
That's better.
If something were not done by January, the affiliates reasoned, they would instate syndicated programming or move up their news broadcasts and remove the Jay Leno show. Somehow, news outlets learned about NBC's time slot shift, informing the public before Conan. TMZ reported on the story with a headline reading, "NBC Shakeup, Jay Leno comes out on top." Conan was obviously pissed off, feeling like a decision was made before ever consulting him. It seemed like the obvious answer was just get rid of Jay Leno. It's gonna take time for audiences to warm up to Conan. But it's not like Conan was a rookie. He had been hosting his own late night show for 15 years at that point. But for whatever reason, the network just didn't seem to prioritize Conan. They only seemed to make decisions based on Jay Leno's wants and needs. So after just 7 months of hosting The Tonight Show, a dream he had looked forward to since his very first debut, he decided it would be best if he just stepped down. On January 21st, 2010, Conan released his People of Earth letter in which he explained his refusal to host The Tonight Show at 12:05 a.m., citing concerns about undermining the legacy of The Tonight Show, which had always aired at 11:35 p.m. In the last few days, I've been getting a lot of sympathy calls, and I want to start by making it clear that no one should waste a second feeling sorry for me. For 17 years, I've been getting paid to do what I love the most, and in a world with real problems, I've been absurdly lucky. That said, I've been suddenly put in a very public predicament, and my bosses are demanding an immediate decision. For 60 years, The Tonight Show has been aired immediately following the late local news. I sincerely believe that delaying The Tonight Show into the next day to accommodate another comedy program will seriously damage what I consider to be the greatest franchise in the history of broadcasting.
Yo, what the heck?
The Tonight Show at 12:05 simply isn't The Tonight Show. Also, if I accept this move, I will be knocking the Late Night Show, which I inherited from David Letterman and passed on to Jimmy Fallon, out of its long-held time slot. That would hurt the other NBC franchise that I love, and it would be unfair to Jimmy. So it has come to this. I cannot express in words how much I enjoy hosting this program and what an enormous personal disappointment it is for me to consider losing it. My staff and I have worked unbelievably hard, and we are very proud of our contribution to the legacy of The Tonight Show, but I cannot participate in what I honestly believe is its destruction. This letter changed the tone. This wasn't just Conan saying no, it was Conan saying no, and you're wrong, and go fuck yourself. But on January 13th, 2010, Conan gave an unforgettable statement to the entire world in his opening monologue, one that would be remembered for generations.
You know, I'm trying very hard to stay positive here, and I want to tell you something. This is honest. Hosting The Tonight Show has been the fulfillment of a lifelong dream for me. And I just want to say to the kids out there watching, you can do anything you want in life. Yeah. Yeah, unless Jay Leno wants to do it too.
Dang.
This quote effectively summarized this entire war, and it cut through Jay Leno like a knife. The public response to the late night wars of
I mean,
2010
he
was
had to do
largely
something at the
sympathetic
end.
towards Conan. Many saw him as the victim of a corporate mishandling of late night TV. People admired his integrity and willingness to walk away rather than compromise the show's legacy. Amid the controversy, social media users showed overwhelming support for O'Brien. Over 1 million people joined 2 Facebook groups supporting O'Brien, Team Conan and I'm with Coco. Ratings for The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien skyrocketed, and the viral support for Conan only increased by the week of his final shows. Nationwide, there were protests in favor of O'Brien outside NBC studios in New York, LA, Chicago, and Seattle. At a rally on January 18th, Conan made a brief appearance outside The Tonight Show studio, where he gave the crowd free pizza. In a poster reminiscent of the Obama Hope poster, artist Mike Mitchell superimposed an image of O'Brien with the words, "I'm with Coco," and an American flag in the background. The poster was widely circulated and displayed online at various rallies. As if it couldn't get any crazier, Jay Leno was to be named the host of The Tonight Show again. The man who promised in 2004 to pass the torch to Conan, then reluctantly did in 2009, and 7 months later he came crawling back for his spot on the throne. He could not just give up.
I had a show, my show got canceled. They weren't happy with the other guy's show. They said, we want you to go back. I said, okay. And this seemed to make a lot of people really upset. And I go, well, who wouldn't take that job, though? Who wouldn't do that?
Conan wouldn't do that. Nobody sided with Leno. He became the butt of many jokes, and if you couldn't tell by now, Letterman wasn't really fond of him either.
I'm telling jokes and making fun of Jay Leno.
That's him. I remember him looking like this, not when he was younger.
Mercilessly.
Wait, rewind.
Simply for one reason, and that is, I'm and making fun of Jay
Leno. Wouldn't do that. Nobody sided with Leno. He became the butt of many jokes, and if you couldn't tell by now, Letterman wasn't really fond of him either.
I'm telling jokes and making fun of Jay Leno over and over and over, relentlessly, mercilessly, simply for one reason, and that is, I'm really enjoying it.
Jimmy Kimmel also did an entire monologue dressed up as and acting like Leno.
Great to be here on ABC.
I don't like Jimmy Kimmel
Hey,
either.
you know what ABC stands for?
I know, man. I don't, man.
Always bump Conan. That's right.
Jay saw the bit and decided to invite Jimmy onto his show, and Jimmy proceeded to absolutely roast Leno on his own show.
Never order anything off the TV. Like NBC ordered your show off the TV? Yeah, no. Strippers I don't like in general because you have this phony relationship with them for money. Similar to that of when you and Conan were on the Tonight Show together,
Oh my
passing
God.
the torch.
All right, that was funny.
You know
All
what I'm
right.
saying. Yes. We have lives to lead here. You've got $800 million.
On January 21st, 2010, Conan received a $45 million buyout in exchange for leaving NBC, $33 million for him, and $12 million in severance pay for his staff. Conan also paid around 50 stagehands and various crew members at least 6 weeks severance pay out of his own pocket. In his final moments on air, Conan decided to go out with grace and class.
Yes, we have our differences right now. Yes, we're going our separate ways. But this company has been my home for most of my adult life. I am enormously proud of the work we've done together, and I want to thank NBC for making it all possible. I have something to say to our fans. Here's what all of you have done. You made a sad situation joyous and inspirational. So to all the people watching, I can never, ever thank you enough for the kindness to me. I'll think about it for the rest of my life. Nobody in life gets exactly what they thought they were going to get. But if you work really hard and you're kind, amazing things will happen. I'm telling you, amazing things will happen.
Conan's final episode drew 10.3 million viewers. Not only did O'Brien's final show beat all late-night competition, it outscored all primetime shows in the 18 to 49 demographic from that night and the night before. On March 1st, 2010, NBC confirmed that Jay Leno would officially resume as the host of The Tonight Show. 1 month later, Conan signed with TBS to produce the late-night talk show, Conan. The program debuted on the network in
The greatest
November,
one.
premiering to 4 million viewers. Leno's return to The Tonight Show accumulated 6.6 million viewers. He once again beat out Letterman for much of his run, remaining back at the #1 spot for many years after. From a business perspective, NBC made the right decision. They saved their show and they saved their ratings.
Biggest thing people come up and say to me in gas stations
Man
and
got that
restaurants,
beard
I
on.
have so many people say this to me. Hey, partner, you got screwed. I don't, and I always tell them, no, I didn't. I didn't get screwed. I'm fine. It didn't work out.
Well, you did get screwed.
You think I got screwed?
Well, I think most people think you got screwed. I mean, Jay Leno thinks you got screwed. Jay Leno thinks he got screwed.
How did he get screwed?
That's how he got you.
To me.
Jay should stick
2012,
to being a
Cohen
car
said
guy.
that he
Yeah.
had not talked to Jay since. The odds are we will both leave this earth without speaking to each other, which is fine. There's really nothing to say. We both know the deal. He knows, I know, I'd rather just forget. In 2014, Leno was still #1, but now he was much older, and the network wanted to usher in a younger and fresher face to take over The Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon. But this time, Jay Leno totally understood why.
You would have preferred to stay. Well, it's always nice to keep working. Sure it is. Sure it is. But am I extremely grateful? Yeah. Do I understand the circumstances? Yes, of course.
This is the part I don't understand. I mean, you're still
Well,
number one.
I think because you have talented
Look at his
people wanna
wife. She
wait
like,
so long
man,
before they get other
this man
opportunities,
finally
they
quit
wanna
and
get
he's
other
talking about going back.
opportunities. Makes sense to me.
I mean, he
And
finally
I
got
think
fired. He's
Jimmy's
talking about
been
going back.
extremely gracious and polite.
You said all of the same things exactly about Conan.
Huh? Did I say the same things?
Yeah.
Probably. Well, maybe I did.
It's easy to see how Conan got the short end of the stick. Even though the short end was a $33 million payday and a brand new show on TBS where he was able to do literally whatever he wanted. It's pretty clear that Jay did not want to give up The Tonight Show. And he plays dumb, but he had to know that his 10 p.m. talk show would kill The Tonight Show's ratings, right? So did he really try to sabotage Conan on purpose? Or was he honestly just following his boss's lead? In this classic hero versus villain story, it's way sexier and easier to just point the blame at Leno. But it's painfully obvious the real villain is NBC. Once
Sure.
again, the corporate executives operating in the shadows receive all of the financial upside and never have to face any of the criticism.
Oh, guys, yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. I mean, we got a lot accomplished today. I mean, honestly, we accomplished a lot with this drawing. I'm going to be doing what's her name after. So hopefully I finish it before the next stream. But I actually like this drawing. I mean, it's okay. It's not the best thing I've ever done, but I think it's pretty clean. Excuse me. I think it's pretty clean. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you are willing, of course. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you have a great one. And enjoy this picture of Nessa. I mean, I'm going to try to finish it today. She's adorable. Yeah, I like it. I think it turned out pretty nice. But I don't know. I might tweak her outfit a bit. I might do that. And I need to add a little bit more scratches and scrapes and stuff to it. Just to make it more like worn, you know? It looks nice. Peace, love, and hair grease. Peace. Have a good night. Have a great one. Have a great one. Excuse me. Excuse me. Alright, guys. Peace. Oh. God bless him. Oh, SME. Forgot to say that.